All right, all right, all right. Please tell me the audio is working now. Hope you guys can hear me just well. Let's let a couple people jump on in real fast. And you might as well, let me see, what are we going to do here? Let me go ahead and just do a couple of, let's go ahead and just do a couple little engineering really quick. I only have 5, so that's fine. Just go make this run. What do I need? Where are the sticks at? All right, we'll just do a quick engineering run. Perfect audio, man. Slice, I'll tell you what, man. When I was doing that interview with Cliff jumped in, and I literally was there trying to like fix what the audio issue was for 15-20 minutes. Cliff was just chilling, right? Luckily, he had a little bit of patience with me, and I actually couldn't get it fixed at that time. I had to switch to another recording software, so that was a whole issue. I completely forgot about it. But right now, when I go live and I try to find what the issue is, I find it in 1 second, you know, and I can fix it real quick. But while Cliff is waiting for me, I'm there for 20 minutes like, oh, what about this button? What about that button? Yeah, exactly. The pressure was on. I normally do good under pressure, but you know how it is, man. You know how it is. I got a little lucky with Cliff having a little bit of availability, so I just wanted to make sure that I didn't want to take up too much of his time, you know. But he was super kind and generous, and had a lot of fun with that interview. Now it's time to just prepare for, you know, he did mention live on the stream, or on the YouTube video, that he wanted to do an update in September. He wanted to release the update in September, so, you know, now's the time. Got 368 people online right now. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I'm super happy that you guys enjoyed it. You know, it was gonna be one of those things where I was gonna cut it, make some edits, you know, clean it up nice and pretty. Because we just, you know, in the beginning, you know, we were just riffing a little bit, but yeah, it turned into a whole debacle. And then I was like, you know what? I saved it in the wrong format. I thought I was going to be able to edit it better than I was able to. Almost lost the whole thing. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not going to mess with it. Boom, post it. You know, let's just go. Get it up. Let's do a little Mount Olketh here while we get some people to jump in, have a little bit of fun. Hey, Slight Nuggles jumping on in with a sub. Thank you so much, my friend. 5 months in a row. Always keeping me on my toes. How you guys been? It's been a little while since I got in to check in with y'all. It's been crazy. Life's been going at 100 miles an hour. Wraithmancers should be, I know they're going to be low number count in Mount Olketh, I would assume. Maybe 5? 6, maybe? I don't think there's a better map. Do you guys know if there is? Ashley Green jumping in on YouTube. How you doing? Jumping on in from Ireland. Very cool. Very, very cool. What time of the day is it over there? We're here for a good little mid-afternoon stream. I probably should have gotten something to eat before I jumped on the stream. That was probably a mistake, but I spent the whole morning working with the sports card business that we got going on. Had a deal pop up that we just were debating back and forth about what to do. And now I get to have a little bit of Lost Relics time. Oliver, jumping on in. Jumping on in. I think we're going to be doing pretty good. So I do have some bad news to share. Not too bad of a news. Bad for me, not bad for anybody else. Thank you, Ashley. You enjoyed the The video with Cliff, yeah. It was a lot of fun, not gonna lie. You know, a lot of good juicy details. I mean, the funny thing is that I had made my predictions when I was talking with Cliff. 1 for 3 on the predictions, so that was fun. But now I have a whole bunch more predictions on trying to figure out what he's gonna do. So we're gonna see. We'll talk about a few of them here, but I actually had, I've been playing Lost Relics for what, a year plus now, maybe a year, 2 months, year, 3 months. I think I started in June, so probably getting close to a year and 3 months. And I had my first significant death the other day. Yesterday. That cost me quite a bit of gold. But I had the 1 million gold there as an insurance policy in case it happened, and it happened. And what can I say? I was being lazy. I was being a little cocky, maybe. Was listening to some podcasts, doing a little bit of research on Polkadot and Solana. And I dropped my blue gram right on the exit, and then I went to a lava pit somewhere else on the map, and I figured, I had low health. I was like, I'll hit the lava, I'll hit the chest, I'll warp back, and I'll click the exit, right? Well, when I warped back, I misclicked, thinking that I clicked it, looked away for a quick second, looked back, and all of a sudden, boom, I was dead. So I ended up losing the mythical stone breaker, and I ended up losing the miner's hat. So I immediately went back to the Emporium, and I bought 2 of them yesterday. So that cost a pretty penny, 700 and something thousand gold. But that's the reason why I was holding the gold. I know a lot of y'all were speculating, thinking that I was holding it for in case Cliff did another gold sink, which, that would have been a good idea. But honestly, I was holding it for an insurance policy like last night, so had to cash it in. The only thing I was thinking about, this goes back to the speculating about what Cliff was revealing with the new mechanic for tools breaking down. I kind of just went and I threw the gold in, and it's all good. Someone circulating the gold, someone got that gold. I'm sure they're going to put it to work too, but we'll see. After the purchase, I just went real quick. I didn't even give it a second thought. But after the purchase, I was thinking, you know what? I wonder how this repair mechanic or this, breaking mechanic will work for legendaries. I'm assuming all tools, right? I'm assuming all tools will break. And if all tools will break, wait, did I see that right? What was that? What's this? It disappeared. Cliff's making some changes. No, I don't know. Maybe it's just maybe it's bugged for me. Is it? If anyone's in the game, is the lantern changed? I actually have never had one of those lanterns. I wonder if there's any that are up on the marketplace. I won't buy it. I'm gonna save the gold, but yeah, no, I was wondering, I was like, if legendary tools are also, I'm sure they're probably going to last longer if they end up breaking. But if they do end up breaking, that probably means that they're going to start to circulate more. I wonder if that's going to bring down gold prices or maybe increase gold prices. I don't know. I didn't want to wait, since I figured, we could be anywhere between 1 to 4 weeks before an update comes out, and before the update comes out. And if that's the case, I'd rather just keep grinding and getting that bonus XP and getting those legendaries. But now I can't be as I got to take more precautions here, I guess, when it comes. I'm not going to have another dumb death like that. Don't do it, man. Nah. We're good. We're just going to be grinding some bounties, speculating on what the future is going to have, what's going to come up next. It probably would have been good for if I had held on to the 1 million gold. It probably, I could sell some items and get the million back up, but I could definitely do that. I prefer to just let it accumulate over time slowly. But if we end up needing to The lantern's gone for you too? Ashley can confirm? Okay. I've never held the lantern before. Let me see. Did anything else change while I'm mining this rock? I don't even remember what it was. We can probably go check an old... Hey, what the heck are you doing, bro? Get the hell out of here. You meant the other thing in real life? Refresh me, bro. Refresh me. I'm doing a bunch of things at once. Oh yeah, and Nightshade is in the chat. Let me message him real quick. If anyone hasn't checked it out, he posted a really cool guitar cover of the Lost Relics theme song. You know what? Maybe I could play it really quick in the background for the audio. I'll do it after. Maybe I'll do it after this run. Let it play real fast. That's a pretty significant death. Yeah. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I've had a couple where I've lost 100,000 here or there. Maybe 2 deaths that I've had over the past that cost me 100,000 each. But this one was a big one. Set 630k gold. Yeah, that one hurt for sure. I got in a little bit of a bad mood when that happened for sure, but I was just being lazy. I got greedy. I was like, yeah, I'll just hit it, teleport out, but no. You wanted Cliff to answer if he's gonna... I'm not following you, brother. I'm not following you. I think what you mean is that if he had a plan for releasing any more blockchain items. Is that what you were referring to? I think his newest leak in the Discord. I think the newest leak was it looks like it's going to be a relic. I forgot what it was called. Something badge or let me see. Can I pull it up? What was the latest leak? And that's if that is a relic, then we're probably okay. Then we're probably, let's see, leaks. What's he call it? The Badge of Blight. Yeah, the Badge of Blight. Exactly. Blockchain items for wood cutting and fishing. Yeah, I would expect that I think that has a high likelihood of coming as well. Not 100%. I just always assumed that he described in a few like not this previous interview, but maybe a few months before that, the last time I got a chance to be on a podcast with him, he had mentioned that the way that he was designing Lost Relics, he said that like some developers, they'd like to design like a vertical slice of the game. So it's like if you can imagine like the entire picture of like what the game could be, like designing it like from bottom up or top to bottom, so that it can give a little preview of what the game would be. But when he said the way he was working it was like kind of like building out layers to an onion. So like I would assume what I thought he meant when he said that was like each like layer of the onion was like a mechanic of the game. Maybe he's referring to the production skills, like alchemy is its one own layer, or cooking or alchemy, or maybe even adventures. So I have always assumed, and this could be wrong, but I'd always assumed that like maybe the wood cutting and the fishing stuff that's going to be coming was like part of one of those layers. I don't know if that layer is going to be the next layer that's coming up on this patch. I think there's a very high likelihood though, for sure. I mean that before maybe the past month, I was focusing on getting all these gathering skills above 40, which I was able to accomplish for that exact reason, for exactly what you were saying. But we're gonna have to see. I think there's some gold oak right now that's in the pool. If you go look at the website, I don't know if anyone's like logged into the Lost Relics website. That gold oak would probably be accumulating into a point when it can drop. Because right now, like, I don't think woodcutting has always been my lowest skill, or not my lowest, but like the lagger, the thing that always lags behind in terms of my development of gathering skills. So, I was able to get to level 40 and I got the demonic axe, but I haven't really I've never used it because there's not an ability to use it yet. You know, I'm taking a lot. I'm taking some significant damage here. I shouldn't not just. There we go. Let's see. Did I get a Sorella? Did anything pop up? Yeah. You know, I didn't get to ask Cliff. I wanted to keep the discussion to under an hour, you know, and we were going to do, you know, half of the discussion, which I think I timed it well. Half the discussion on just like the overall metaverse and just like interesting topics about what's going on in blockchain gaming, things like that. And then the last half, 55 gold oak, according to Michael Davis from YouTube. 55 gold oak in the pool, yeah. So, I mean, there's a good chance there that that could be the thing that's next, right? So, you know, good speculation, I would assume. But like going back to that video, I was wanting to keep it under an hour. And so I didn't get to ask all the Lost Relics questions, you know. I really did think it was important. I know everybody wanted to just... We could have kept it strictly to the Lost Relics, but honestly, like, with how the metaverse is growing, and I think it's important to, like, start to get an idea of what the future could hold, because Lost Relics will be... one way or another, you know, playing in whatever future space is developed, right? So I think at the smallest sense, decisions that other platforms and developers make could affect Lost Relics one way or another. I mean, you know, case in point, look at what's happening with E-finity, and, you know, Cliff directly mentioned it, how, you know, the Axie model, at least from Cliff's perspective, he thinks has made a significant, and I agree with him, has made a significant change to players' mindsets, right? The idea, he was bringing up the idea of being able to like item ownership, which I still think is important, and I'm sure he still does too. But maybe item ownership isn't what's taking precedent right now in terms of like players' mindset, you know? I also agree that, I also think that, you know, the idea of earning using the Axie model is overblown. I do think that won't be the only model, like how I was describing it in the interview. The way to earn can be, there could be 100 different ways to earn, right? Like, for example, like, you know, me, the type of business that I work with, you know, you can earn your living by being an accountant, by being a dentist, by being a mechanic, by being a teacher. There's hundreds of ways to earn, right? So I think you could sell products, you could sell services. There's an unlimited, you can own passive yielding investments. So because of that, I'm assuming we're also going to see 100 different ways to earn with gaming too. So Axie produced the first model that seems to be successful. We'll have to see what other people, how it evolves. It's going to be really interesting. And then as it evolves, it's going to be an ongoing discussion. And it's hype for you? Yeah, I agree. Let's see. You notice that he said that he wanted to drive the game into a more play to earn style, like Axie. No, I think you're right. I don't think you misunderstood. I think he sees the importance of what they've done. And this is what I think, you know, one of the advantages. I mean, there's advantages and disadvantages. But the ability to be agile, to be flexible, to change with trends as they present themselves is I think is huge. You know, this space it's evolving on a day-to-day basis. Like, my mind is blown. Like, I've talked about like different ideas about my own personal project that I've wanted to launch. Talked about the idea of a nonprofit. Talked about the idea of a gaming guild. I've talked about the idea of player coaching, and obviously continuing. I can just move accounting services into the blockchain, providing, you know, tax advice or you know, income tax preparations. There's 100 different ways to do this, but none of them are like 100% like the thing to do for me right now. I'm still looking. I'm still looking at it. Are you coaching in Lost Relics for new players? Coaching is one of the areas that I was thinking about doing. You know, if I have received a few messages about coaching. I've received more messages, I would say, about just getting people wanting some basic advice in terms of like what items are worth or how to rent wanting to rent items. You know, I've received a lot of those versus coaching. But, you know, if there's a demand there, you know, it's definitely possible to expand on some of them. I really, really want to see where this patch goes. Like, if it is really going in a and it's probably going to be. I think everybody has to assume that as these play to earn mechanics roll out, I think it's going to be a slow rollout. I don't think it's exploding overnight, even though that is a possibility. You know, the same way the Easter event exploded like really fast. We went from like 5,000 players to 28,000 players over the course of like 2 weeks, 14 days, 21 days at the most, I would say. So that could happen again. Who knows? But I think this patch might be so important that I need to wait before we make any dedicated moves. I mean, I've been researching a lot of things like Yield Guild Games and the models that they have. You know, ways that I think that I might be able to improve the model or to adapt the model to play more to my strengths or the strengths of the Lost Relics community, right? Because ideally, you know, what we build out here, I wouldn't want to be... I don't want to do it alone. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't want to do it alone. You know, I'm wanting to bring in people to be able to help grow it out. And at the end of the day, you know, for Strike Team Games, at least, I had adopted the slogan of like exploring the metaverse, because honestly, that's what we're doing. Really, any type of model that is put in place right now is going to drastically change. So being flexible, like I said, is extremely key. Did I buy the Transcendence or did I earn them? What do you think? You know, what would be your guess? I've been playing for a year. I've been playing for a year and a half. Some of you guys that are in the chat right now, what would be your assumption if you haven't checked in the stream before? The reason why I say is because the reason why I'm asking the question is because I think time is going to be a really important area to value these items. The time investment. I've been playing for a year and a half. Do you think I've hit a block? You think I've hit a Transcendent? That's the question in the chat. How much did it cost would be the better question. Well, everything's on the blockchain, so that can definitely be researched. I don't really make a habit of like giving out my purchasing history in terms of figures on the map. I mean on the map on the stream. But you can see it. I've publicized my wallet before, so you can definitely find it. But to give you the answer, I've been playing for a year, 3 months, and I have not hit a Transcendent item. So these Transcendents have been investments. Yes, they have. Most of the Transcendent purchases happened in 2020. I would say probably 75% of the Transcendents I have. And then the other 25% were probably in 2020. Well, actually, I'd have to go review it because off the top of my head, I actually remember the transactions more than I remember the dates. But mostly purchasing for the long run, I tend to focus. I tend to be more of a long-term investor than I am a trader or a flipper, even though I do think that trading and flipping will be a very important piece of the Lost Relics economy. And I have, you know, I have explored that for sure, but I am more about purchasing and holding and watching. Honestly, you know, not only it's a bet on the talents of Cliff, and I've seen what he's been able to roll out over this past year, and I'm extremely impressed. Also, it's a bet on the Lost Relics community, really. I'm a firm believer, like, just watching these videos. I didn't get a chance to put Nightshade's video up. I need to do that. Like, watching how us as a community has really, like, grown over time is just extremely exciting. Even right now, like, we're at 350 players online right now, maybe 7,000 to 8,000 monthly players. You know, I know some people that have started in 2021 have assumed that that the game has been in terms of a little bit of a decline in terms of player population, and that's just I think that's expected, especially when patches take time. Development takes time, right? But from my perspective, you know, I started when there was like 600 players total. You know, now we're talking about 350, 400 players online at any given moment. There was only 600 players when I started, right? And now looking at 8,000 monthly players, 28,000, I think was the peak in February. So like the growth, there's growth. You know, the relationships that have been built, the friendships that have been built, I think is key. And I want to see how it grows out. Devilish coming on in saying community is great, always trying to help out other players. Nothing like the WoW community. Yeah, I mean, gamers. I mean, you know, we know that being in the space, you know, gamers tend to be. Some of these message boards can get very toxic. We know how it is. But I think there's something different about a play-to-earn community. Maybe because people are invested more, not only with their time, but with their dollars. You know, you're a little bit more invested in terms of wanting it to succeed, right? Like, the thing about, like, when you're investing in a play-to-earn economy, it makes you feel like, look, like you're having fun in the first place. I mean, that's the reason why you bought in. Whether you buy a pendant or whether you buy a blockchain item really doesn't matter. Like, if you're buying into the economy, you know, you feel like there's like some personal ownership there, right? Because of that, like, not only are you having fun, like, you're benefiting when other players are having fun, and that's one of the main reasons why, you know, I even started streaming. I had never really streamed before this. You know, I played Halo 2 competitively, you know, going to MLGs, throwing tournaments all over Texas, you know, going across the U.S. I think I've been to like 40 out of the 50 states. You know, a majority of those were competing in different tournaments. You know, this is different. This feels different. And I'm just excited to see how it all plays out. And it's not just Lost Relics, right? Axie, Splinterlands, Gods Unchained, you know, the Six Dragons, you know, whether we're talking about Engine or we're talking about Top Shots or we're talking about, like, you know, Bored Ape Yacht Club, like, this is a new type of online community, online culture, you know, the gaming culture, blockchain culture, whatever you want to call it. Like, this thing is growing in front of us. No one really knows what's going to happen or how it's going to go. But it's not going away, you know? It's not going away, and I want to be here to participate one way or another. That's the reason why I'm here, you know? Not throwing shade on the WoW community, of course not. You know, hey, I mean, I played WoW too, bro. I was right there with you. You know, WoW, RuneScape, EVE Live, Diablo, like, these communities, like, I mean, honestly, guys, like, you know, reflecting back on it, like, so many of my close friends I've met them online, you know? I've traveled, you know, from one side of the United States to the other to attend a wedding of a friend who I never met in person. I'd only ever known him online, you know, like, this is, and the funny thing is, like, that happened for me in, you know, 2006, 2008, you know, it's been 12, 14 years, 15 years since that happened. And now it's all happening again. I mean, it's been happening for everybody. It's been happening for everybody, right? Different players are experiencing this metaverse in different ways. And I mean, that's the key, you know? So when I see things like people posting, like a musician posting cover, you know, a guitar cover of the Lost Relics theme song, like, when I see stuff like that, it just makes me feel like, or when I see, like, for those of you that might be newer that didn't really see it, when the Easter event, you know, hit Lost Relics really hard, Cliff, I'm sure he spent a lot of stressful nights, you know, trying to figure out how he was going to deal with the influx, you know, making decisions that he knew he had to make a snap decision, but decisions that probably were going to last multiple months, if not years, and having to make those type of calculated decisions in the moment. You know, I'm sure there was a lot of stress and a lot of long hard nights. You know, so the whole Lost Relics community, you know, I think 12, 15, 10, I'm not sure how many different people that were in the community came together and made like a support Cliff YouTube video. Yeah, boy participated, you know, Kenzie, you know, I was there, you know, a lot of different people came together to help, you know, just give Cliff a pick me up, you know, and now we're here. Let's see. Evil Teddy Bear is another fun group. I'll look into it for sure. That's a good one. Evil Teddy Bear. When I think of that, I think of, I don't know why. The first thing that pops into my head is I think of the Call of Duty Zombies mode with the teddy bear on top of the what's it called? The mystery box. That's the first image that pops in my mind. I wonder if that's one of the images. Let's see. Loaded question incoming. Okay, let's see what your loaded question is before. Let me clear this room really quick. Do you think that there's going to be a patch? And what is the... Oh, gotta kill you. What am I looking forward to in Lost Relics? You want my predictions? I can give you my predictions. Oh, Howling Mad's jumped on in. I missed him. Howling Mad, how you doing, brother? I guess this is good enough time as any for my predictions. Remember, guys, like, I mean, I did it live on stream with Cliff. My predictions are probably going to be wrong. You know, I missed 2 out of 3, and if we would have kept going, we probably would have missed some more. But okay, what are my predictions? Let's talk about some stuff that wasn't discussed during the fireside chat with Cliff. Okay, so that tool built. So I think what he's going to do now is he's going to make it to where you don't have to carry your tool builts in your inventory slot. I think that's a good guess. Would you agree with that? Like, would y'all give me a yay or nay in the chat? Tool belt will carry all the items in a slot rather than in your inventory. I do think all virtual items, I don't know if it includes relics and weapons. Maybe it will include weapons. I think all virtual items might be breakable. You get it too. We got 2 agrees so far. Do we have any nays? I guess what I'm trying to figure out is, are you going to have all of your tools at the same time? Like always in your tool belt? Maybe now you don't. Maybe. Because like I wouldn't want to bring an axe into a dungeon if I'm going to die. If I have the chance to die. Because then I could lose an axe for no reason, right? So what would be the tool belt? A blockchain tool belt? Oh damn. Blockchain tool belt? That's an interesting thought. That's a really interesting thought. That had not crossed my mind. Interesting. So if you're carrying all of your tools at the same time, you know, you have your utility belt. I would assume he would want to. I think we're going way too far in terms of predictions, but let's just roll with it. Screw it. It's fun. If you're taking all your tools into all adventures all at the same time, I would assume they're protected. And if they're protected, would they be blockchain items? Is that the way he protects them? It doesn't feel right because it doesn't feel right, but possible. Maybe instead of you losing them now, they just all break. You know, they won't die. You won't lose them in it like in a pet. Like a pet, they won't die even though they're virtual. They won't die or some pets. They won't die you won't lose them in the adventure, but maybe that's the way tools would be, but now they just break whenever you use them. Maybe legendary tools. I would assume legendary tools need a break, right? Because the goal would be to keep these circulating, keep all these blockchain items circulating. This is going to be the key. Resources are going to be the key to the new economy, I think. Not that they're going to go up in value or go down in value, but the more that resources circulate, the more those percentage fees from the blockchain emporium, the more those are going to be, the more of those fees there'll be because players obviously are going to want tools. And the more of those, the more likely you're going to find them in dungeon runs or adventure runs. So I think, what do you guys think? Do you think resources will be the key to the new economy? Because like if the goal is to circulate blockchain items, then tools, I would assume weapons and relics won't circulate as often, right? Because like if a player gets one, they typically are going to get it and hold it and use it for a while. So those aren't going to be the things that are circulating. Those might be the things that appreciate in value, maybe. But would they drive shadow stones being droppable? Probably not. Because, like, for example, we'll have less sales of weapons. Well, I don't know. I mean, it could work both ways. He's probably going to come out with more everything. More weapons, relics, resources. Over time, of course. Over time. It's a tough one. Flux jumping on in. How you doing, bro? So if we're talking, Howling Mad jumps in, says, if we're talking about circulations, you think the future of bounties might be play an important role. Right. Yes. So I've thought the same thing. So does that mean that, yeah, bounties could be that key, right? Because you're wanting to turn them in to continuously earn rewards, and see, the thing about bounties is that like you don't have to rush, right? Like a bounty bucks would turn into just this. It would turn into this reward that accumulates over time. It keeps accumulating. So like even if you are a new player, just doing the basic level 1 bounties, over the course of time, as it progresses, you'll continuously increase, right? Obviously, the players that invest and put, if you buy resources to turn them in, your bounty bucks will go faster, which turns this whole, it keeps the economy turning. I like that a lot. I think you're right. I think that would even put more importance on bounty bucks. So that makes me feel excited. Let's see. Devilish. Unless the mechanic stays the same and they are just held. Oh, going back to the tool idea, held in the tool belt, not in inventory. Yeah. So tools aren't considered inventory anymore. So if, there's an also like less important idea also, because if he takes more if he pretty much by moving them into a tool belt, he's freeing up inventory slots, right? If he's freeing up inventory slots, then that means that there's more gold that can be farmed with each run, because now you're taking out an extra 4 coals that are worth 10 gold each, right? But that gold is just coming from another player. So it's not real gold that's being earned. It's not new gold entering the system. It's old gold. It's not new gold, because the only new gold that's being generated is this, right? There's no other way to make gold than through running a dungeon. Any gold that you buy, any item you buy is just gold from another player that they earned this way, or by opening chests, right? And bounty chests, you earn gold with bounty chests. You earn gold with running dungeons. That's it, right? Where's the gold sink? That's the thing I keep asking myself. Where's the gold sink? Maybe it's these raffles. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised with this mythical Rain of Fire that's in the. I mean, I bought how many tickets? All right. Love the Galaxy Stones, baby. Let's go. What was I gonna say? The Galaxy Stone took my mind off of it. What was I about to say? Daily rewards. Yep, good one, Flux. Daily rewards. The bag of gold and the what's it called? Pile of gold and bear of gold. Do you get gold in mystery rewards? Bag of resources. They don't give you gold. Oh, level ups, right? Investment Empire jumping on in says, "Yo, Striker, wanted to ask for price predictions." So, I don't want to really give price predictions because I don't want to assume people that I'm giving financial advice or tax advice. I can only give tax advice, and like the financial advice that I give, like legitimate financial advice that I give, is just it's relating to tax services. It's incidental to the tax services that I provide. So, this is not that. You'd have to be one of my clients for that to be the case. But we could talk about, instead of talking about like actual price, let's talk about like the importance. And then obviously if importance of an item goes up, then I guess you can theoretically say price goes up, but I guess it all depends. Who knows? Photonic incubator, harvester, pumpkin. Okay. Let's start. I mean, harvester's probably the most important relic at this point in time because of its like dual utility, right? Energy and health. I think just as the number of players grow, there's only a certain number of harvesters, supply and demand, right? Only a certain number of harvesters. If every player in the game wanted to own a harvester, because they could, if they had the money, they wouldn't be able to. So that'll be bullish. Plus, I think all the harvesters have already been looted, right? So they're all in players' hands. Whenever an item goes into like the secondary market 100%, like not in the game, that's where you see a lot of price appreciation. Same thing with other collectibles, you know, like once retail runs out, I say retail, like when I'm buying sports cards, whenever the inventory slots that are for like held at Target or held at Walmart. Flux jumping in with a sub. Thank you, my friend. Welcome to the Strike team. Love your stream as well, man. Love your stream as well. So keep up the hard work. Once the quote-unquote retail runs out, that's where major price appreciation happens because demand now demand is set by the owners, no longer set by the initial creators, which I know a majority of you know. I like the pumpkin a lot. I think the pumpkin's going to play an important role because of the fact that it's one of the few items at this time that provides as much energy as it does. And I guess you could look at it as energy as what do you call it? Really, the energy really improves your dungeon run times, right? So if you go from running 4 dungeons an hour to 5 dungeons an hour, and I don't think that this game. Don't look at this game. I don't look at this game as a sprint. I know a lot of people do. Like a lot of you heavy grinders that can compete with the amount of time you have to put in. You know, maybe that's the best course of thought the way you think of it. I don't think of it that way. I think of it as a marathon. Honestly, people would qualify this as the off season, as the dead time, because there's no new update, there's no major drops come in, stuff like that. But right now is the time where the quote-unquote marathon players, like I would categorize myself, this is where like I'm able to catch up on the leaderboards, right? Like before, for example, before the Easter patch, I was like 17th on the overall leaderboard. Easter patch came, people grinded, you know, I dropped down to like 50th or 60th. You know, now it's dead time. A lot of those players are no longer playing, and now I'm back up to like, I don't know where I'm at, 15, top 20, probably somewhere there. Somewhere there-ish. So it's just marathon versus sprint. I don't know if there's a right way to play the game, but all I know is like, don't burn yourself out. And there's plenty of more games to play. I don't think you should be, you know, a Lost Relics only player if you don't want to. You know, feel free to explore the space, have some fun. But I think there's just so many projects that you kind of gotta, and Flux talks about this on his stream a lot, and I like the way he puts it. Like, there's so much new info, like it's impossible to learn everything. Like, maybe it's best to specialize in a few things, right? I've always had that same type of like mindset about specialization. You know, when I was in high school, you know, I loved playing baseball and basketball, and I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna play baseball. Focus on baseball. Focus on the fundamentals, on the tools. Working hard every year, and then with all that time and with all that effort, you know, it was able to take it to the next level and play college ball, right? So I don't know if that would have happened if I was playing multiple sports. Like, I don't know if I was as talented of an athlete. Well, I can tell you as much. I was not. I don't think I was. I was definitely not as talented of an athlete to be able to do that. You know, some people were made for this, whether it's gaming or sports or whatever. You know, those people will come. You know, and we'll have to see how it goes. So yeah, going back really quick, Pumpkin I think is. I mean, I'm extremely excited for the future of pumpkins because they give you an area of utility that cannot be replicated. Like, what else would you get if you wanted to get energy? You know, there's other options, but I just don't think there's as big of an option as, you know, 5 uses times 1,200, so that's 6,000 extra energy per run. Did I miss anything? No, let's go. So, you know, there, Photonic Incubator, again, another great item that I think gives a lot of, you know, additional health that you can't get. Like, if you can't, you know, if you only had a harvester and incubator, like, I think you're fine if you get one. I mean, they're expensive, right? Like, you know, 720 engine, 7,200, 72,000 shadow stones. I must have missed a pass. It's cool. I got the shadow stone. I got the Galaxy Stone out. You know, let's go look at the marketplace really quick so we could talk about some of these things. No gold on the bag of resources, right? Gold sinks, yeah, they're going to be important. Gold sinks are going to be very important actually, but gold is the hardest thing for me to understand the value of because it's always being made. It's an infinite resource. Like, probably the best way to understand how important gold is to look at it in terms of time. How long, without selling anything. Selling can lose you gold or make you gold. Flipping can earn you gold or lose you gold. But if it's just time, if we look at it as in terms of time, like as I see these pendants go up and down because they represent time, I guess. It's a tough one. That's how I tend to look at gold. Like, originally when I got the 1 million gold that I was holding, I got it and I didn't really tell players why I was doing this. I got it because I knew that sooner or later I was going to die. And when I died, I knew it was going to be a heavy toll. Turns out I died yesterday. You know, I lost 660,000 gold. So ouch. But that was my insurance policy, right? Like, that insurance is now gone. That's the way I looked at it. Maybe that's not the right way. I know there's a lot of you out there that are earning way more gold than I am. You know, I'm sure Howling and Sam Bam are probably sitting on inventory gold values of 10 to 20 to 30 million gold. I mean, I don't know. I'm making stuff up here. But what was important to me, I think, was that when what was important to me was that when I saw, I'm trying to remember what was the thing that caused it. Oh, I know what it was. When all of the mythical ninja Kage got wiped off of the market. All right, nice. Howling Mount coming in 25 mil. That's good. I think I probably have like 9 mil now. You know, so just comparisons. And for comparison's sake, obviously Howling Matt is at the top of the leaderboard, so that's not a fair comparison in terms of my skills, but like this is where I'm at, right? When I saw all of those mythical Ninja Kage skins go, my first impression was like it was a snap decision. Like, I was like, oh snap, I don't have enough gold. The reason why was because it could have been one of two things. It could have been the entire community coming together and like everyone just happened to buy one and that led to FOMO, which bought someone else and it snowballed. It could have also been, you know, a major player on the top of the leaderboards saving up all this gold and wiping out all the market at once. That would have been a smart move too. And you know, I don't know if there's ever a way to know, but my point is that the moment that all of that gold was synced and taken out, the population of gold, whatever the number is, was reduced. I would love to know what the gold economy is. More details on the gold economy, I think, could really help players, but we'll see. But the second that happened, the population of gold shrunk. If the population of gold shrunk, that means the more gold you have, gives you more buying power in that new scenario. So when that happened, I said, oh snap, I need more gold. So I went and I got the 1 mil gold. So I don't know where that put me in terms of like the gold economy or whatever. 1 mil gold held here, right? Not in the inventory. So that's why I got it. My main thought was like, my first primary thought was insurance. Then my second one was like, actually, I didn't even think of it, to tell you the truth. I think Tyranitar was, or no, it was Rifting, I think, said that he thought I had the gold, so that when Cliff put a new gold sync up, I can go and buy him, which actually was a good idea, but I didn't think of that actually until he said it. It didn't pop up into my mind. Like, what do I got? 8 mil gold, a little less than 8.4 mil gold. 8.4 mil gold. I can't see because my camera's in the way. I'm going to be guessing here. This is virtual. So yeah, like 8.4 mil gold. So like a lot of this is locked in here in like major items that are being held. But regardless, like I used to like play around with the idea of like going to the marketplace and looking at like what's the lowest gold item of, like, I'll do it. Let's go look at it right now real quick. Like, what's the lowest costing gold item in the epic tier? Like, I would guess off the top of my head it is the squid. No, not the squid. What's it called? The carp. The carp and the squid. I mean, that would be my guess. If I go to virtual, let's go epic. Let's sort by price and let's scroll down. Carp. Oh no. Well, these are cooked, non-cooked, and cooked. Yeah. So like, what I used to do is I would be like, well, this is epic. Maybe this, if it's epic, it'll probably, I don't know. Like, if all the epics are selling for 1,000 plus, maybe this epic will sell for more later on. So I used to do that. I think now I'm just thinking about it in terms of like more utility. Like, what do I need? Like, where's the own button? Is this the own button? Like, what am I going to need for production, I guess, right? I would assume production is the way to look at these because these all lead to production skills. Let's go look at alchemy, I guess. You know, I'm vamping here, guys. I'm making stuff up as we go. My point is, oh, hold on. What am I doing? I was gonna look at the blockchain items too. Super Ryu jumping on in. What's going on, man? Patch soon. Fingers crossed, man. Cliff said September, but you know, don't hold him to it. But he said September. Let's see. Let's see. Allow me to 100% disagree. Okay, cool. Go for it. Incubator. It's a team item, aka another good way to look at it. Exactly. Incubator, looking at it like as for a multiplayer perspectives. I think that's a good way to look at it for sure. I think you're right. Oh, interesting. So you think, because it's a team item for future multiplayer, that would be more valuable than the harvester. So let's go here, legendary. Let's go price. What am I doing? Oh, I'm in virtual. Blockchain, effects. Okay, harvester and incubator. So we have almost more than 2.5 times. So 5 uses times 900. That's 4,500 health and 4,500 energy. So 45 and 45 is 9,000. 1,200 times 5 uses is 6,500. So like, I guess like I guess what you're saying is when you make that comment, I guess what you're saying is the difference between the health regen of the incubator and the health and the energy of the harvester, that value difference is really the value you're saying for multiplayer. Like, multiplayer makes up for that difference plus some. And I don't know if I would buy it for that reason. I think that's a argument. I think that's a good argument. I guess the question is, how valuable is that? And I don't know. It's a lot of speculation because we don't really know what multiplayer will be, or more importantly, when multiplayer would come. I think that's the more important item to think about. If multiplayer is coming at the beginning of 2022, I think that even gives it more importance than if multiplayer is coming in 2023, 2024. But the only one that would ever know really is Cliff, right? Howling Mad jumping on in says, I think that's gonna hardly happen again. I mean, gold swappable BC items after Cliff realized how easier it was to get gold out of the game with the raffle. Yeah, with Black Death Legendary, only one sword, and you sold 180 tickets, which equals to 18 million gold. Yeah, I think you're right. Well, I mean, let's go deeper, right? Let's go a little deeper. I agree with you, Howling. I think you're right. I think you're right, but I guess it really doesn't matter, right? What is the point of the gold sink? If the gold sink is the only purpose of the gold sink is to help reduce hyperinflation of these items, like, who is it best serving? See, I guess this is where it comes to like understanding. I mean, Cliff knows this, and this is probably why he's making some of his decisions. But like, if a majority of the gold is being held by 20% of the player base, what serves? Is the goal to take it out and even out the distribution, or is the goal to move that gold out of the top tier of players and into the lower tier, the bottom 80% versus the top 20%? I'm sure these are the things Cliff thinks about. I mean, these are the things I would think about in terms of like an in-game gold economy. Who knows? But I mean, I don't have experience making games, right? So I'm just speculating here. You feel like the incubator price is only low because newbies what got this item out of luck? Yeah, that's possible. I mean, it could be lower right now because people farmed it and now we're selling it. And once the people that own the incubator that like really wanted it, like that are wanting to hold it, like that's they enjoy it, or they needed it, or they fills a slot that they didn't have. Like once that happens, yeah, I could see the demand increasing and supply staying the same. Think that you have a tank hitting the boss and you can heal with the tank from behind, like the incubator. Yep, completely possible. The thing about the incubator that worries me, and this is probably only unique to me, is that, look, I take a face tanking type of mentality into this into the current meta, because I have the ability to with the items that I have, right? Like, I don't think face tanking is the most efficient or the best thing that people should be aiming to do. Like case in point, like when the Chaos Unleashed patch came out, like I was no longer face tanking. I was poisoning, running away, letting the poison damage do its work, and then regrouping, waiting for energy, rinse and repeat. So like the meta is going to continuously change. The thing that worries me, or the thing that I place premium value on, I guess, which can change. I guess it all can change. But the thing I place premium value on is the ability to control your regen with the press of a button. Like, even if I got less health, the fact that I can push the button to get immediate regen, no waiting, no nothing, immediate regen is what's important to me. Because that's the like, oh shit moment. That's the like, oh crap, I need health now, because this is like a do or die moment. Give it to me now, instead of the like dropping the egg, waiting the 1 or 2 seconds for it to be usable, and then using it. I place more premium on that, I think, right now than multiplayer. But I guess that maybe that's only because I don't know what multiplayer is going to be. I actually hope, and maybe people disagree, maybe this is an unpopular opinion, I hope multiplayer is cooperative and not competitive. I think, at least in the beginning, I think cooperative might be a better strategy for building, because like at the end of the day, I think it all comes down to like the player-driven economy. Like if we start building teams, making friends, like investing like more personally in terms of like like that's my squad. Those are the guys I roll with. Like on Mondays or on Wednesdays, it's one group of friends. On Thursdays, it's another group of friends. Or like in the mornings, it's someone. In the afternoons, it's someone. Whatever. Like I think that that serves like community building more than competitive does. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm naturally a competitive person at heart. Like that's the reason why I found Lost Relics, right? Because when coronavirus hit, like I was playing softball and kickball, and that like was gone. So I was like looking for something to just compete in, right? I was playing Call of Duty, I was playing Halo, I was like trying to scratch that itch, right? And then I came across a post about like the engine Metaverse Swiss board competition, the engine quest. And I was just like, oh, cool. Like, this is like 500 gamers from all around the world trying to like be the first to accomplish this quest. Like that like piqued my interest, but who knows? That's what got me into Lost Relics, or that's how I discovered Lost Relics, was by participating in that competition, that quest, that Metaverse event. And I know we all come here for different reasons. I'm sure there's a lot of people like that are like don't want competitive at all. You know, I'm sure there's people that are like dying for it. Who knows? But yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. Oh, we got another follow in the house. The Garnick, welcome to the stream, baby. You know what? I keep telling myself I really want to play that video. I'll do it after this. I'll do it after this run. I just thought it was really, really cool. What else? Then again, you know, I think what Cliff was mentioning in the interview, I think was really important to take note. Like one of the things that I took away from it was when he mentioned the idea, and he's kind of talked about it before, like, and I get it. It's just humans are tribalistic in nature. Oh, we got another one. Oh, we got a gifted sub. Slight Nuggle gifted a sub to Super Ryu. Thank you so much. Welcome everybody to the Strike Team. Thank you all for coming and hanging out with me. I know there's a lot of things I can improve on in terms of a streamer, like I don't have emotes and stuff like that, but thank you guys still for subbing and helping me out. Oh, we got another one. VGBB. Got another gifted sub. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you for helping out. I'm doing my best to help support the Lost Relics community and go from there. That's one of the main reasons, like, you know, when I was starting, I was trying to, I mean, you know, like one of my areas is we got another one. Gifted sub coming in for Howling Mad. Dude, thank you so much. Thank you. I actually got my first payout from Twitch the other day, because I know I don't really do like major subathons or, you know, ask for like donations and stuff, but like still, thank you guys so much for supporting. I try my best to make sure that whatever money comes in from, you know, streamings or donations, I do my best to put it back in the Lost Relics economy for people, and we'll have to see. What's that? Ogunklaw? Come on, come go on block. Oh, Ogum Claws turning into blockchain items? Yeah, man. Those Ogum Claws, man. Those Ogum Claws. Gotta love them. I've been hitting a few lately. Has anybody else been hitting them? I think I hit 2 Ogum Claws yesterday. No, I'm sorry, not yesterday. The day before that. It felt good. It felt good to hit those again. Maybe a little preparations for forging. I lost my train of thought. Thank you again. Samurai jumping on in. How you doing, Havoc? Hope you're doing good. Hope the family's doing good. Ogum calls going blockchain. Imagine, bro. Imagine. Wow. That would be sick. I mean, look, really? I guess this is the key, right? do items? Yeah, I guess this goes back to the idea with like what Cliff was saying about blockchain, not blockchain. What was his exact words? He said, like the idea of like skipping the whole item ownership thing and going into a play to earn thing. I love the play to earn strategy of like that Axie implements. I'm sure Cliff is going to have his own adaptation on it, one way, somehow, who knows. But I like it because it benefits both Cliff, Codebit Labs as the developer, and the player economy. Like it's a way, like we're working. Honestly, we're working together, right? I mean, as the player-based economy grows, everyone wins. Players win. Cliff wins. Future development teams that he implements, they win. The economy, I think, is the only thing that matters at this point. Like, of course, I'm coming from a more privileged, place because of the blockchain items that I own. But like, I'm not betting. I am betting, I guess, or I am picking like some blockchain items to succeed over others. Yes, but like all that really matters is the economy, because if the economy wins, everybody wins. So that's the way I tend to look at it. Awarding keys turning into blockchain items. You'll use it to buy a penthouse. That would be cool. I used to joke with my fiance. Because, we were talking about, obviously the cost of a wedding and stuff. And right now during COVID times, like trying to figure out all that, it's whatever, right? But when we were talking about it, she was just like, why don't you just sell one of your Arca rings? That'll pay for my engagement ring. And I was like, you're not wrong, but is there any other way we can figure out how to get that engagement ring? Lost Relic items are long-term holds. And actually, it's funny because like, I've played around with her on like the idea of like we should sell some crypto or maybe sell some NFTs, stuff like that, right? On other NFT projects that I hold and have and other stuff. And now I'm the one who's saying like, you know what? If we sold this, like if I have a MLB Topps, NFT on wax, it's like, if I sell this Fernando Tatis or this Aaron Judge, super refractor, super limited, I could use that to pay for wedding invitations or something, I'm making stuff up. But like, even now she's the one who's saying like, nope, we're not selling anything. We're not selling anything. We're holding it all. The bull market is coming. And I'm like, okay. I was like, all right, let's do it. We'll figure out a way, hodl. We're going to hodl. Turning the Arca ring into a real ring. I used to joke with her. I was just like, whatever the cost of the wedding ring, the engagement ring, I was like, underneath, I'm going to inscribe what the value in ETH is at that point in time. I used to joke with her that, but no, it's all good. You guys, another lesson to learn about investing in NFT projects or blockchain projects. At some point in time, and I got this from Raul Paul. At some point in time, you got to learn. You got to trade your blockchain chips for real life chips. Like, you got to use your whatever wealth that you've been able to accumulate at some point in time. You got to use it to actually change your life in the physical world. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can never have enough Bitcoin, right? There's always that feeling. You can never have enough NFTs. You can never have enough. Like, you got to be careful with that mentality. We're all on this life, and COVID, I'm sure, has taught a lot of us, me more recently, I've lost a lot of friends, and family members over the past 3 months have been really hard. But yeah, we're here on this planet for a short amount of time, guys, and living in the digital world is great, and I'm sure we're going to be spending more and more and more time in it. But, got to make sure to balance. You got to make sure to balance it is all I'm saying. Let's see. Sorry guys, we got a lot of chats. I'm in Mount Olkef, so I'm trying to face tank and read everything. It's tough. How can you play the game? The registration seems closed. Okay, so for right now and probably going into the future, you need to go ahead and purchase a 7-day pendant on the website. Okay, this is a tricky process. there are guides on. I mean, if you're new to crypto, it's a tricky process. If you're familiar with crypto, you'll easily be able to pull it off. If you're new to crypto, what I'd recommend is going to the Lost Relics Discord. You can find it like on the webpage. You can find it. You know, someone can link it here if you could, guys, while I'm in this run. If someone could link the Discord real quick, I should probably make a Nightbot for that. I need to set Nightbot up. You can. There's walkthroughs on how to do it. You know, my personal recommendation. You know, if a 7-day pendant, I don't even know what it's going for. Let's say a 7-day pendant, it's going for $10-15. I'd recommend like getting double that. Not in terms of buying, but just like have double the amount of crypto than you need, so that if you make a mistake, you can learn from it, and you still don't get it doesn't stop you. Once you get that, you know, it'll probably take you about 24 hours before you get unlocked, and you'll get access. I think right now, maybe this is I mean, I'm sure a lot of other players that are in the chat would agree that right now getting into the game will probably be a premium. Who knows if this patch comes out tomorrow or comes out at the very end of September. But if you're able to get in, get a feel for the game, get an understanding of the levels and what you can do, how you can run it, it might be a very valuable resource for when the new update comes out. You'll be more familiar than new players that are coming on in. You may be able to take advantage of that fact. Who knows? But yeah, my personal 2 cents there. So, there's that. You got your ring with the pumpkins? Gotta love it, baby. Gotta love it, baby. Hodl Queen. That's the keeper for sure, man. Definitely a keeper. I ran this was months ago. She did her first dungeon run in Lost Relics, and I posted it on YouTube. So if you find that, Shops for Life is her name, in Lost Relics. Go do a shout out in that YouTube video if you're able to find it. But yeah, Cliff should implement a checkout that isn't an ETH blockchain. Yeah, woot. So, woot. Sorry, Halo, gotta love it. Yeah, I think that's probably. I would assume that step about implementing fiat on ramps, that is probably what led him down this entire path to whatever is about to come out. So my guess is, yeah, I think there's a very high likelihood that we're going to get some fiat on ramps. But I also think, you know, as a business, right? When you're choosing, like if I'm Cliff and I'm choosing a fiat on ramp, like I think it's extremely important to make sure that whoever you choose you're creating a partnership with a business that is going to be a foundation to the game, right? So if I'm a business and like my fiat on ramp, and I'm sure, or if the way that I bring money, the way that I'm able to generate revenue is tied to like one specific vendor or one specific customer or one specific software provider, that puts the business at risk, because, you know, that business could be, you know, especially right now with everything in crypto, there's going to be a bunch of lawsuits. You know, there's going to be a bunch of like SEC stuff for those people that are in the US. So you have to be very careful. It's a very important decision that can affect the future of the game. I mean, worst thing, you would hate to be in a scenario where you pick somebody now and then in the middle of a Christmas event, it's shut off. You know, I'm sure Cliff spends hundreds of hours planning for major events when they come out, and to have all of that, you know, jeopardized, you know, it's a risk. It's a natural business risk that plays out. Oh, you don't mean fiat on ramp, like a crypto on ramp? Yeah. I think you're right. That might be what's coming. Crypto.com is a great source. I don't know. I need to do a lot more research on them really quick. Guys, I need to quickly go grab. I need to grab something from the kitchen real fast. I'm gonna just scarf down a quick snack. So I'm gonna take a quick 5-minute break. Do me a favor, guys. You got a second? You know, bathroom break for right now for everybody. If you got a second, go ahead and jump in on. Let me get out of this screen so I don't. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? Perfect timing. I am going to put the YouTube video for tonight for that Nick Nightshade put up, so you can listen to his Lost Relics opening theme song guitar cover. You know what? I'll even share the link in the chat really quick. There it goes. Hold on. Wait, what the heck? Oh, it's playing in Twitch. It's playing in Twitter. Okay, cool. So I'll go ahead and get this playing right now. So you guys can go give him a like and a subscribe. And I will play the audio while I leave. Dang, I can only post it on Twitch right now. Oh no, I can post it here on Twitch. And then how do I post it on YouTube? I guess I gotta come over here. Oh, I haven't even checked in on the Lost Relics. I mean, on the Facebook family. This is the first time that I've streamed on Facebook, but I don't even know. I just streamed for the first time. I don't know. I probably needed to link it or do ads and a whole bunch of stuff. I'm a newbie. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning. But yeah, let me go grab a quick snack, get some food in my system, come right back. We'll do another run. We'll keep going with the conversations. But yeah, I'm going to play this audio for you. Be right back. Let's see. BRB. Okay, we're back. We're back. So I think I realized that I had left the Spotify music on while the other one, while the Lost Relics cover was going on. So let me. Maybe it's too loud. The first one got sold. All right. Great work on that. Gotta love it. Okay, so we're good to go. Ellie jumping in on YouTube. Let's see what's your. So you bought a 30-day pendant. Yeah. Okay. So gas fees. This is part of the learning curve. It's a difficult one, but gas fees. So the way that the gas fees work is based on how many people right now are using the Ethereum blockchain. Okay. The more people are using it, the higher the fee. Okay. So this is just everybody goes through what you just went through. Ghost Car. Thank you for the follow, my friend. Welcome to the Strike team. Everybody's has gone through at one point in time. What you need to do, go ahead and Google Ethereum gas tracker. Okay, that's going to give you a breakdown of what the current fees are at any point in time. Different things you do cost different gas. Some things are more expensive than others, but in general. So you want to wait for a right time to be able to make that call, so that you can go ahead and make those transactions. That's step one. Step number two, that's step one. Like that's how it operates. The other thing I would do is join the Lost Relics Discord, and there's some tutorials and some guides that should help you guide you through not only that but the rest of it, to hopefully make it cheaper for you to or the more mistakes you make, obviously the more expensive, but it's part of the learning curve. I wish there was another way around it, but blockchain technology is brand new, right? So learning curves. Let's see. Striker, what do you think about the blockchain shop? Do you believe we need sales history to view sales items as possible? Yeah, look, obviously the more information we can get, the better. But it's also one of those things to be very careful with, right? Like even like for the Photonic incubator, if it was me, what I would love, I'd love to see like total history. I'd love to see, just more tools than what's currently available. But, I'm also aware that I'm sure there's a concern if Cliff is wanting to come in. The system works, it's not 100% the best it could possibly be, but the more you tweak it, I guess the more chances for something wrong to happen. So that's got to be something that's extremely important. I'm sure the new system, if he comes up with another system or updates the system, he'd want to test it, over and over and over, volume. Obviously I would like, if it was me, I would prefer to have a bar graph rather than a line graph. And I would prefer, rather than these dots are just points in time. It is useful to know like between this time and this time that there were no sales. That is important to know. But I think that will just naturally play out by having that'll be apparent by this being a bar graph. You know, I'm sure these are going to be things that get worked on over the course, you know, of the development of the game. But right now, definitely passable. I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, Petty Frogger, yo, how you doing, brother? How are you doing? All right, guys, I need your help real quick before we go on another stream. Do me a favor. Go over to Facebook. I don't even know how Facebook streams work. I don't even know how streaming to Facebook works, to be real. I don't even know, like, is the only way to see that I'm streaming on Facebook, is the only way to see it through going to my page? Or is there like a place where you can just search who's streaming in Lost Relics in general and watch all Lost Relics streamers? I know nothing about Facebook streaming. I guess it would be under watch. And then if I type in Lost Relics, let's see what happens there. Oh yeah, it does pop up. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Of course, no one's watching on Facebook, but whatevs, it's getting posted there, so we're all good. Okay, let me lower this, let me lower that. And where can you see the new patch release date? There's no release date. In the previous interview that I had with Cliff, which I posted a couple days ago, in that interview, he mentioned that he's wanting to make something happen by the end of this month. Let me go ahead and post this really quick. You are on Twitch, so let me post it in Twitch. Here is a link to the fireside chat, the interview I had with Cliff a few days ago, and at the end of the stream, he mentions real quickly that he's not giving a date, but he's going to try to get it out in September. That could be sooner rather than later, but who knows? Let's turn this lo-fi music back on. Okay, I hope I didn't mess with audio levels. Let me know, guys, if there's any audio levels. You're helping family move? Oh, man, moving can be a real pain in the ass, trust me. I know where you're coming from. It'll be over soon, man. Then you can relax a little bit. So we've been streaming for an hour and a half. We'll keep it going here. Let's get another Mount Old Kept run in. I could play the audio in the background of the interview with Cliff. I could do that. If you guys like. I'm sure a lot of you have already seen it, so I don't want to overdo it. Yeah, Ghost, I have a few more, transcendent items than just this. Pretty much been a player investor for almost over a year and 3 months now, I think. I think my starting date was June of 2020. So it's been a little while. I could put the YouTube audio on of the interview. I could also put on, so like I like to do, most of the times when I'm playing Lost Relics, like what's ended up happening recently with work and life and Lost Relics and everything in general is that I've had to sacrifice times in other parts of my life to be able to, do what needs to be done. So because of that, like I've been typically playing Lost Relics like late at night while I'm also doing crypto research, like listening to podcasts and stuff on the back. And I found a lot of really interesting podcasts and a lot of like things that a lot of videos that I think could benefit. I don't know. I guess it all really depends on what the reason why you all are playing. I'm assuming that a majority of players right now that are either watching this stream or watching the video on demand in the future are interested in the idea of building out a base, building out, doing their play to earn journey, building out an inventory of NFTs that hopefully will appreciate or grow over time. whether that is by starting a clan or just being a solo player or whatnot. So I tend to do a lot of research on like the metaverse, what it can evolve into, obviously crypto in general and crypto gaming. So I've come across a lot of really good insights from like industry leaders that I think would be beneficial to anyone that's wanting to like explore the metaverse and go down this same path that I'm going down. So we can put that on. We can put one of those on too if you'd like. Sirius TV, thank you for the sub. Welcome to the strike team, baby. No, I did not find the transcendence that I'm playing with. All the transcendence that I own are investments. But I did find, I have found a dividing supremacy, which was a mythical, a Zilborn, which was a mythical, a Zilborn? Zilborn's always the one I always forget. A stone of infliction, mythical also, and you know, countless legendaries. So it's all good. Yeah, I mean that's the reason why I'm here as well, Ghost. I was just a firm believer in like in my personal thoughts are that there is going to be a game, or there are going to be games in which, see, crypto allows for this in-game economy to actually be turned into like a real world economy, right? And economy-based games, you know, economy-based games, in my personal opinion, there's going to be 1, 2, 3, maybe a handful of economy-based games that are going to grow to a size larger than countries, larger than some small countries. And I'm exploring the metaverse to find that. I think Lost Relics has the potential to be one of those games. I mean, Axie Infinity is like, not only has potential, I mean, you can make arguments that it's already there, and will sustain and will grow over time, right? So that's one of my main thesis in terms of what's happening here, what's going on here. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here. But of course, you know, for the most part, I tend to give a lot of my predictions about what I think the future holds. But just know that I know that I'm not right. I know that I'm not correct. And I know that I won't be correct. But the goal is really, it's not to be able to predict the future. The goal is just to be able to create a roadmap on where things are going. So when you come to different decision points, you know, forks in the road, you can make a more educated decision on which path you want to go down. Because the truth of the matter is, no one's going to know what the right way to go, what the right path to go down is. No matter how much they tell you, they think they know. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. I think I am going to put on a YouTube video here. So that we can keep streaming, listening to the background, answering your guys' questions. Give me a lurker check really quick if you're lurking in the background. It's all good. Do what you do. Hopefully you're also grinding LR in the background. And yeah, I definitely trust Cliff as well. 2007 Woot. You have a belief, like as a human race, many people have peaked up their lives in terms of physical possessions and assets. A lot of things in our lives have peaked. Mobile phones, telephones, etc. There aren't many things anymore that people in the first world don't already have. You know, Real Vision likes to put the way they like to describe it. The way Real Vision likes to describe it is that they describe this metaverse as the same thing that happened like when the world discovered the Americas. Like before the Americas were discovered, like there was a whole new GDP, a whole new economic system that was ready to be developed in the Americas, but that never existed. Like that growth never existed before until its discovery. I think crypto and crypto-based games are that new discovery, that new frontier. Go for it, bro. Working on your non-crypto business? Yeah. That's where I'm at too, bro. I know that feeling, 100%. You're finishing the Axie grind? Keep it going. Hey, Dom jumping in with a follow. Welcome to the Strike Team, Dom. Hope you're having a good one. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Let me go ahead and throw on this YouTube video really quick. I'm just going to put the audio so that you guys can keep an eye on the gameplay. And really, it's just a conversation. So Andreessen Horowitz is like one of the most influential investing firms in the entire world. They hold a crypto, they call it a crypto startup school, where they go through the ideas of what crypto can mean for different industries and how help, with education-based information. Great source of knowledge. And they did last year, 2020, they did a crypto startup school discussion with the creators, I believe, I think it's Fable 2 and Tribes. If any of you older gamers are familiar with Tribes, one of my personal favorite games. I thought it was extremely useful to get their impacts, their intuition on what's going to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and play this interview. If you wanted to Google it on YouTube, it's called Josh Williams: Opportunities for Crypto in Gaming. It was posted 1 year ago, part of the A16Z Crypto Startup School. So I'm going to go ahead and play the audio here. Too loud.
Next up, we're going to jump straight into next session, which is going to be a fireside chat with Josh Williams, who's the CEO and co-founder of Forte, which is a new blockchain gaming platform that aims to help align developers and players in how they earn economically. And interviewing Josh is going to be Jeff Tunnell, who is the founder of Monster Ideas and a number of other companies that he founded earlier, where he designed, directed, produced hundreds of games. So Jeff and Josh, come on up.
All right, so in my long career as a game and game technology creator, I've seen lots of new platforms and new technologies come along that have
Let me know if the audio level's
changed
okay.
the way we had to make games. Probably the biggest one of those, well, obviously the biggest one was the advent of the internet. And it took our industry, 10 years to figure it out. And I think we're kind of still figuring it out, but that was when it really started to happen. And one of the games that I created is called Tribes. And it was a first-person team-based shooter, kind of one of the first ones that really incorporated a lot of what was going on in the internet. And it was kind of controversial for us inside the company at the time because it was a big project and we got to the end and we didn't have time to put a single player into it. And so we launched it as multiplayer only, and it was really, that was really risky at the time, but it ended up that it did work. Now it just seems really obvious that everybody releases a lot of multiplayer only games and they're all internet connected. And I think in the future it's going to be kind of similar for blockchain. It's going to really cause some big disruption in games. And I think Josh is going to tell us some of what blockchain will be able to unleash for us in games.
Yeah, I think exactly as you said, Jeff, it's a good analogy. Blockchain will disrupt and change gaming in I think, a very similar way to the internet. It might cause even bigger changes because the internet helped interconnect players, and Tribes was really an example of a great innovative game designer, who embraced the bleeding edge technology early on to create a game that was really revolutionary, and I played Tribes a lot when I was a kid. Blockchain will be similar and maybe bigger because it's not just interconnecting people, but changing potentially the business model of games and creating the potential for a lot better game economies that align developers and players and work much better for both of them. And it can really do that in 4 ways. So the first way is by leveraging blockchain technology, games can allow players to really own the assets in their games.
So that exists right now with
Today,
Lost Relics,
players
right?
in games spend about $150 billion a year purchasing games and digital goods in games. And the majority of that revenue actually is purchasing goods inside of games. But players don't own any of them. So that's the first one. When you introduce ownership, it could really change the way that the games are made and played and how the economies work. The second one is blockchains enable you to have the provenance of every item and every asset in the game. So that means you can know the history of every item in a game. The third is games can create really rich marketplaces, or blockchain can create really rich marketplaces inside of games. So when players own these assets and you can determine whether or not an asset is real, you know its history and provenance, you can create rich marketplaces around those items. And the fourth is because blockchains can incorporate smart contracts, code that executes autonomously through the blockchain. You can create these rich incentive systems that reward players and participants in the game in different ways.
Yeah, so that's a really quick overview. We're going to delve into it a little bit more. Let's talk about the ownership a little bit.
Sure.
A little bit more, a little deeper.
Yeah, so if you think about it, the ability for players to really own things inside of games, the virtual goods and virtual currencies inside of games, it transforms the purchases that players are making from pure expenditures, where again players are taking over 100 billion.
Yeah, go ahead and shoot your question. I'll answer it real quick. I'll answer your question real quick, and then we can jump back into the audio. No worries there. Oh, my bad. Can I make the drop rates? Yeah, so drop rates are they're constantly going to change, especially with the new patch. They're going to change. So right now, I would say that I don't know how Cliff is doing it, but my assumption is that probably with every patch, he probably makes a decision in terms of like what are the items that he wants to drop and how often are they going to drop, and then I'm sure he like kind of game plans that out about how often or how long it'll take before they're all gone. Just making estimates, kind of maybe to give him time to prepare for the next patch. So blockchain rates right now are probably are low, but I would assume based on previous history with old patches, blockchain items. New blockchain items are released, and new items are dropped, and I'm sure that can continue on going into the future. Hey, we got another follow with Killbot PTG. Welcome to the Strike Team, baby. How long does it take to activate an account? So Cliff is the developer of the game. He's the one who activates it. It's the weekend, right? So I don't know if he's working, but he's in Australia. I think around this time is typically when he gets up. I would assume 24 hours. On the long end, could be faster. But obviously, it all depends. So you just got to be patient. Take your time with it. But yeah.
$1 a year out of their wallets to purchase these goods. It transforms them from expenditures to assets that the players own. And so players could choose to resell assets if they own them. They could choose to incorporate the assets into another asset that might be in the game. And the thing about these assets being stored on blockchains is no one can take the asset away from the player. The player truly owns it, and they don't have to trust a third party, including the game developer themselves, that they truly own the asset.
Yeah, and I think that's probably what most people think about when they think about crypto technologies or
Hell yeah,
blockchain
man! Thank you so much for
technologies
jumping
and
on
games. But it really is important. I'll just do like a pretty obvious example here, but imagine you've played WoW for a year and you take your rogue up to level 70 and you're tired of playing it and you want to become a warrior.
You too. Peace.
If that was a blockchain-enabled game, then you could take that character and either give it to your friends so they can come back and play the game with you, or you can sell it to somebody and maybe get back a little bit of the the money that you've paid in your subscription for the last year.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And when you play a game and you're really into it, you get to really care about the assets you have in the game. You care about your characters. You sometimes put a lot of money into those things, and so to see real value and to truly own those things and to be able to do what you want with them as a player would be great as a player and transformative for games as a whole. And touching on the second point, which is really the provenance of the items, of the assets in a game that blockchains enable, what that lets you do is know that when someone is claiming that they have an asset and they have the right to an asset, you can verify that is true. You don't have to trust anyone to do that. So you can imagine in the real world, outside of games, if someone was trying to sell you a basketball jersey and they said, hey, this is the jersey that Steph Curry wore in the final game of the 2015 NBA championships when they won, and so it's going to cost $1,000, you would just have to trust them that that's true, or maybe find a third party to trust that has somehow certified that that's the real deal.
All right, I skipped over your question. My bad, brother. Let me see. So your question here. Do you know... excuse me. Ghost Car coming in from Twitch. I know you have more of a chance to find an item in Melnolketh because you kill more mobs, but you have a higher base percentage too. So there's no, I don't think anybody knows that answer, only Cliff. I think he's mentioned one time in an old interview or an old discussion that the answer was yes, but only I think he made the comment of rather than having a 1% base chance, you now have a 2% base chance. So I think it's so small that it really doesn't matter. And I think he's even confirmed that it shouldn't really matter. But I think maybe there is, maybe it's small, but the truth is no one really knows.
What's cool about games and blockchain is because the assets are digital, if they're stored on a blockchain, you don't have to trust anyone. When someone says that, hey, this item, maybe it's a sword, this is the sword that was used by the first player to ever take down the biggest, baddest boss in the game, you could know that it's that collectible, unique item, and maybe that it's got some special characteristics unlocked because
maybe we're all going to be collecting Howling Mad items for being the first player to hit the top of the leaderboards. I don't know.
It is that unique item. And so blockchain enables that as well.
Yeah, and that's actually, it might sound kind of trivial at first, but it does kind of, it can take an asset and make it more unique, more collectible. And that's, again, kind of an obvious thing, but when you start really thinking deeply about this, it makes it's pretty important. And then you can also kind of start seeing how people could do things like maybe there's an enterprising person that goes out and collects this open information from tons and tons of games and puts it all on one website, and maybe it's kind of like an appraisal website so that you can go and you can check the value of your
well, I'm making like 250. Keep an eye on this counter right here. Let's see how much at the end.
You can create these rich marketplaces in games, right? So one players own the assets, and they know they own it, and so they therefore ascribe value to them, and they can verify without trusting anyone that the history of the assets and its authenticity. You can start to price items, you can start to trade items together and create these rich marketplaces. And the richness of the marketplaces can be, not only enabling trading between players and the transfer of assets and value between players, but also pretty complex economic designs around how that value gets split up. And this is where developers can start to benefit as well, so that they might take a share of transactions. If you had these assets that were owned by, that example we used of a sword that was, used to take down the biggest boss in the game for the first time. The player that killed that boss with that sword could always take a share, if the smart contracts were structured this way, of every transaction, every trade of that sword subsequently. So you can open up all these new designs that were never possible prior to blockchain, or weren't possible without solely trusting the game developer themselves.
Yeah, and you could also use that kind of thing for incentives to move your players around to help them do things that you want them to do, and also that they've kind of wanted to do anyway in the game.
That's right. Yeah, and that's the...
Oh yeah, you're talking about like overall. I actually haven't done the math, so I don't know. But yeah, you're right. Like nests are going for like 6,000 gold. Um, I guess if you hit a certain legendary item, they'll go for more gold. I actually don't know the math. I just typically, am just playing based on, at least at this point in time, completing these bounty challenges. But yeah, I'm sure it's possible to do the math to figure it out. Probably, yeah. My guess would be that nests would probably be the best way to farm gold right now. But remember, with a new patch coming out, that can all change. So, nests might, for whatever reason, be less valuable or harder to farm, or, every patch, everything can change. So just keep that in mind. Even Cliff in the interview that I shared, he even mentioned that he thought there was going to be some really big changes to the economy on this next one.
The fourth one, it's designing incentive structures in the game. So when you have a game that has an economy based on real asset values that players own, you can have currencies, you can have assets in that game. You could start to grant, as a developer, you can write smart contracts that essentially incentivize or reward players through grants of currencies and assets and items when they do things that are helpful for the game and for other players. So you could reward players for, maybe senior players who have experienced a lot of the game. You could give them, currency. You could drop into their account currency for helping new players, get through a dungeon for the very first time. And so you can create these really rich incentive mechanisms in a game in ways that, again, just weren't possible previously if you start to incorporate blockchain technology. And there's a lot of cool stuff we're working with developers to do like that. We're working with a battle royale game. Battle royale games are like Fortnite. It kind of incorporates a bunch of the things we just talked about. The skins, there are skins in the game right now. So those are cosmetics that you can equip on your character to make them look differently.
Mild sauce.
It doesn't affect the gameplay in this case, but it personalizes the character for you. This developer that we're working with is tokenizing the skins in the game. So they're putting the skins on the blockchain, they're letting players truly own them, and they're making the skins tradable within the game. And that creates a new revenue stream for the developer, and it gives the players much more agency, much more ownership in the game, and it makes the game more fun for the players because now they can benefit from the game not only from it being fun, but by doing a good job unlocking new skins and potentially earning an income from them.
Yeah, so I actually have some personal experience where this would have helped me out tons on one of the games that we created. We created a game for Disney and Playdom called Social City. It was a social city building game that was on the Facebook platform back when that was going really big, and we ended up. It was a hit. It had 2 million daily active users. My mom played it, my sister, my wife. First time in my career that I had that happen. And so that was an interesting aside. But while the game was very successful and was making a ton of money, we were really worried about the business model because it was really just selling digital goods. Put a new building in, put a new road in, put a new sidewalk in, and you could see where we were going to hit a wall in that. So we were in the back room, just like squirrels running as fast as we could go, trying to figure out a way to make an economy. But back then, we just did not have the tools. It would be so wonderful to have these blockchain tools. So I'd like maybe talk a little bit about how you build these community economies for these games.
Yeah, so Social City was a big hit. It was one of the earliest.
I think the minor sets can be found in the
West.
Bounty chests.
And it kind of, Jeff, as
Silver,
you were talking
bronze,
about,
and
it
gold.
hit the same problem that pretty much every free-to-play game today runs into as it grows. And free-to-play games dominate the games industry today. They kind of took the industry from 10 to $40 billion 20 years ago to $150 billion plus a year today, because what they do is they allowed players to play a game for free for the first time, and that aligned developers and players a little more than they had been in the past. Prior to free-to-play games, players had to purchase a game up front without really getting a chance to see it. And so you couldn't get these, it was really hard to get these massive audiences in games. And players, you were asking them to spend 50 or 60.
You can also get it where? In troves? What do you mean troves? Treasure troves? Oh, you mean from here? Yeah, I got it. Treasure troves. My bad. The bro stud jumping in with the good save. Thank you, my friend.
$60 in a game without even knowing what it was really like to play it. The free-to-play games, you get a little closer to the player, a little bit more aligned with the player in that, okay, you let the player come in for free, which is great. That's a benefit for the player. But then you have to figure out how to monetize it because you didn't monetize it up front. And you run into this problem that Social City and every other major free-to-play game runs into, which is you constantly have to pump out new content as a developer. You have to sell players more and more of these goods inside of a game because it's your only way to make revenue. And the really pernicious thing that happens in this model, even though it's maybe friendlier in some ways to players than pure upfront purchases, is a small percentage of the audience ends up purchasing anything at all. And our team and myself, we've seen some of the most successful free-to-play games in the world, and almost across the board, a very small percentage of the audience, 5% or less typically, makes any purchase whatsoever. And very frequently, less than 1% of players in the top free-to-play games account for 80% or more of the revenue. So what that means is you have a very small percentage of your audience that you end up catering to. And those individual players often spend hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars a year.
Troves.
You know, it sounds crazy.
I haven't been in
Salt Beach for
a
and so
while.
you have to produce content that caters to them.
I think I have a few pitching bounties.
Somehow without alienating the rest
week.
of the players that don't do it. And it's incredible that they don't pay anything. And that's an incredibly challenging design problem. It's incredibly frustrating for players to feel like, the people that spend the most might be able to get the coolest stuff in the game or be more powerful in the game. And so there's still misalignment even in the free-to-play model. What blockchain technology and those four new interaction models, economic models, new capabilities that blockchain enables for games can really do is align players and developers, where as a developer, you can start to pull a marketplace, the ownership that players have of the items in your game, you can start to pull a marketplace around those into the game and create win-wins with players, where players now own value, they can transact value, they can even earn an income from the game, and you as a developer can create a bigger economy without just having to create new content all the time. If you allow players to trade, just as a simple example, you can earn a revenue stream from those trades as they occur over time.
So yeah, I mean, it might be kind of obvious, but one of the first things you would think about doing there, if we talk about win-win or community economies, would be a lot of the really big games nowadays, they have the gray market that's out there.
I think this is key, guys.
Buying World of Warcraft gold or different skins for different games, or even trading accounts around will get you banned from the game nowadays. But now you could bring that economy into the game and get rid of a lot of the fraud and things like that that's happening out in the real world.
That's exactly right. And players want to be able to do this, as we discussed earlier. When you invest a lot of time or money into your characters or assets or items in a game, you want to be able to trade them sometimes. And sometimes, a game might be designed to require you to spend a lot of time in order to get the cool stuff that you want. And you would love as a player to be able to just go buy that thing sometime.
Let me see. Yeah, RuneScape Gold, the classic. Definitely the classic. What have you invested in for the forging update? So I haven't invested any gold in getting ready for forging. I'm sorry. I said gold. Well, both gold and blockchain, right? Because I'm sure forging is going to need virtual items and blockchain items at least some way, somehow. So I haven't done anything with that purpose in mind. When I purchased blockchain items, the second to last go around, my main reasoning when I made that purchase was because I just wanted to. There was a bunch of blockchain items that I wasn't able to farm for whatever reason. Maybe I wasn't a high enough woodcutter at the time, or maybe I missed out one of the events when one of those items were more commonly dropped. So what I try to do is I try to just buy. hit the camera there. I tried to just buy a good variety of the stuff that I was missing, just to like get a rounded out character in terms of blockchain items. I played around with the idea of like buying blockchain virtual items with gold to prepare for forging too. I've played around with that idea, but I don't really see a need because like right now on the leaderboards, I think I'm like the fifth overall miner. So I'm assuming a majority of the virtual resources that are needed are going to be mining. Maybe that's a bad assumption, but because of that, I think I'm going to be fine. I think I'm going to be able to farm out any items that I might need over time, of course. And I'm sure if they're blockchain items for forging, they're probably not going to be like low-level forging items, which means it would take a lot of gold and a lot of time before you get up to the level 20s and 30s in production skills. So I haven't, but I mean, I'm sure players can speculate, right? I'm assuming, like I was just speculating right now with the forging. One of the reasons why I chose, because right now this is a 3rd level bounty, 3rd sword bounty, and I'm starting here at the beginning of the beginning of the week because I've just figured I'm killing 2 birds with one stone. I'm gonna be able to get this gold bounty chest and get the bounty bucks, and since I'm running Mount Olkept, I'm getting a lot of mining resources too, to prepare for forging. So who knows? We'll see. You think he's making new mining resources? He could. That's completely possible. Trying to think back on how many resources we saw. You know, what I've noticed with the work that he's done in the past has been that the previous patch, he released items that were going to be used in the next patch, right? So if forging is going to be from mining resources, I think those mining resources would have been released in the previous patch, but maybe not. I don't know. I think I've noticed a little bit of that over time. But I think if you go look on the Lost Relics website right now, there's like 4 or 5 mining resources that are in the epic tier that have not dropped at all, 0. So maybe those will be unlocked and those will be used for forging. They look like a bunch of crystals that stick out from the ground. Forget what they're called off the top of my head, but there are some epic items there that have not been dropped. The nebulas, yeah, that's another one. I don't think that's what they're called. Let me see. Is that what they're called? I don't think that's the one I'm referring to, but maybe I'm wrong. Blockchain items, epic. Yeah, you're right. Nebulite. The nebulite. Yep. Exactly. So those, I mean, maybe those might be released. Some fishing blockchain items. Yeah, that would be an important one. I kind of, I mean, there's no reason to believe, I mean, there's no reason to know if this is correct or not, but I just kind of felt when he released the miner's head and he released the fisherman's friend that he was kind of, because those gave you bonus XP for gathering, right? But he didn't really release anything like that for what's it called? For wood cutting and for gathering. So I didn't know if that was just something he was going to roll out at a later time, or maybe if that was something that he was trying to like communicate to players to say like those are the skills that are going to be the more required. I mean, the more useful or utilized skills. I don't know. I'm just completely speculating, but who knows? I do know that. I mean, I don't know. Is it a coincidence that he released a fisherman's friend in the mining hat, and is it a coincidence that when you're choosing clans, you could choose between, or not clans, but allegiances, you could choose between the coal team and the fishing team. Mining and fishing. Maybe I don't know. I just had assumed that there was some kind of play on that. Could have been just a fun little gimmick and means absolutely nothing. But if you want me to speculate, there it is. Something for cooking. Yeah. Do we need blockchain items? We do need blockchain items that are completely used for crafting. Blockchain circulation is better for the blockchain. Yep, good point. The more resources, You think? I mean, theoretically, we could also get blockchain consumables, right? I mean, that's possible. So whenever you decide to burn it, whenever you decide to use it, goes back in the pool, for people to find, or for you to sell. Create more transactions. BC consumables. Who knows? Who knows? Cooking gloves, maybe a frying pan. Good speculation. I like it. Maybe dungeons where you can only complete at certain times of the day. Ooh. I like the idea of like, what if you could only craft, I'm just making like for miners. What if there's like a mining bench that is only found within Lost Relics? Within Lost Relics, only found within Mount Olkep. So if you wanted to or an engineering bench, I should say. An engineering bench that you could only find like in one of the dungeon runs, which means you have to take the resources in with you. So if you die on the run, not only you lose, you're putting more at risk. You're only able to produce when you're in the dungeon. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a game designer, but sounds cool. It kind of makes me feel like when you in RuneScape going into the wilderness for different purposes. Hoarding keys at certain times of the day when the warden's sleeping. It would also help circulate gold. Throw your ideas in. Man, I almost died there. That was stupid. That would have been that would have been bad. How about skill guides like in RuneScape? Yep, that's another one. So many good ideas. You're right. So many good ideas. The funny thing is that like we're speculating on ideas, right? But I bet you, or I know, I'm sure Cliff already has, let's say, 5 to 10 different ideas that he's like, pretty much like he's like, this is something he knows he wants to implement, but he hasn't had the time to build it out. I think that's like, as time progresses, right? He's gonna get to show us what those are. I'm dying. I'm taking too much damage. Okay, let's see. There's so many good ideas. Yeah, I read that one. That's why you love the game. We're so early on what could be. Yep. So many different paths to explore. I mean, look, guys, like the way I look at it is like Cliff isn't only building out things like for the game. Like think about it, like he built out the new website shop. Like he's building out like he built out the leaderboards. He built out like the player search mechanics. He built out he implemented the website support systems. Like Cliff is like able to build way beyond video games. You know what I mean? Like I don't technically know what the definition of a full stack developer is, but I mean, he's obviously talented across the board. So I mean, that just gives me more reason to believe the future of Lost Relics is going to be strong. One perfect idea that you hope that Cliff does using virtual items we already have to craft consumable blockchain items. Consumable blockchain items would be pretty cool. It would be pretty cool. I didn't like how it was going to work, but before the whole idea of the in-game marketplace. I was like, well, that sucks. Like you have a blockchain item that you own. I had made the comment about like, why would someone want to like pull it out of the game to sell it to someone else and then them to import it into the game just so they can burn it, right? Because in order for you to burn it, in order for it to be taken away, it has to be in the in-game wallet. But now with the blockchain Emporium, like really you don't need to have your items outside the game you're going to be able to transact gaslessly, like, right? It's going to be so much easier to transact. And if you're trading in the in-game Emporium, like, you're complete. Not only are you supporting Cliff, like, you're supporting the other players in the community, because a portion of that fee, of that sales fee, is going to go to players finding Shadowstones. Like, I mean, personally, I think it should be. I mean, we have to see how the system plays out, right? There's a lot of information we don't know. It's going to be so exciting to read the Medium article, but Cliff, I mean, I think as a player, you would want as many players as possible to move blockchain items back into the game. I mean, that would make sense to me, right? Because if they're in the game, more chances for people to sell them through the Emporium, and then recontribute to the economy. More leaderboards? You like the idea of more leaderboards? Yeah, I like that. Cliff used to have a system. His like old version of leaderboards was that outside every dungeon there was like a message. There was like a wooden. You know how like in MMOs you go to like the board, the city board, to like go accept your jobs. Like he had one of those boards right outside each dungeon, and it was a tracker of like the top 10 or 15 players that have completed that dungeon within a month. So like I remember back in the day, like Multiverse Gecko, like Gecko was like playing certain dungeons and he would be like ranked number 1. He's completed Shattering Chambers 20 times, and then second place was like someone that had only completed it 5 times, and he was a running counter, right? So like you could just see that progress. I liked that idea. I liked how it resets. Of course, now we're like, because that back then you needed adventure stones, which means you'd have to pay to play each individual dungeon, which was like 25 cents per dungeon run. I remember. I think it was like roughly that. So that mechanic probably won't work anymore the way it used to, but who knows? Distributing Shadowstones to players is going to be huge. It is going to be huge. It is going to be huge. It really, and like, that's the scary thing, guys. Like, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm personally nervous. And when I say nervous, I mean more like, one of my old coaches used to say this a lot. He used to say like, someone would say like, you're nervous before the big game. And he was just like, he would say like, haven't you ever noticed that like nerves and excitement are the exact same types of emotions? They're just, all that's different is like your perspective on it. Because like when you're nervous, your hand starts to shake, your breathing gets heavy, you start to sweat. You know, when you're excited, your hands start to shake, your breathing gets heavy. It's the same. The only difference is that like your mindset is different, right? So like when I say right now I was getting nervous, like I'm really excited for what this could mean. And I don't care if I don't care if it snowballs or if it explodes. I just know that if it starts slow, it'll build on itself over time. But like, if you really wanted to get like all FOMO-y, maybe this is the FOMO section of the discussion, but like holiday events are times of the year where we get extreme spikes in players, extreme spikes in gold, extreme spikes in engine, blockchain item purchases, because more players are participating in the event. There's more hype. There's more excitement. So what happens if this patch that's going to contribute to Shadowstones being dropped to players, if it successfully launches before Halloween and then we get the hype from Halloween, like what, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It could be huge. It could be an Axie moment. I mean, I'm not saying that it will be. I'm just saying that there's a percentage chance that it could be. That's all. Don't get your hopes up. Don't get excited. I mean, the opposite extreme could happen too. Cliff could release the major patch. It could be broken. He might need 2-3 more weeks to fix it. And maybe we have to skip Halloween. Maybe he might be focused on this patch so much that I missed a mining spot. That he has to postpone Halloween and we go all the way to Christmas. Who knows? But I'm just throwing the ideas out there. Arena, he also released Arena, going to what Woot was saying in the chat. He also released Arena or placed Arena on the map in Talmuth. Like, the entrance is there for people to go into. There's no activity, but it's there. How can you buy JEng without 200? Okay, Sammy, I was telling some other players this too. Go to the Lost Relics Discord, and there is some guides to help guide you along the way. The important thing to know is that the gas fee that you're talking about, that's based on how many people on Ethereum right now are using it. Okay, so right now at this point in time, maybe there's a new project launching, or maybe there's a new NFT going crazy. Who knows? But for whatever reason, gas fees are high. You need to just keep an eye on the gas fees. You can Google Ethereum gas tracker. Keep an eye on the gas fees. Watch for them to come down, and when they come down, that's when you make your move. That's part of the game. It's part of the learning process with working within Ethereum. Those gas fees are there to help protect. The gas fees are there to pay the miners that help secure the network. Without those gas fees, Ethereum could be unstable and everybody could lose everything. So those gas fees are there for a reason. You just got to play it slow. Don't FOMO. Take your time. Make educated decisions. Go read those guides. Go read those guides before you make any moves. But you're saying right now $280 for gas fees. I waited a couple days ago when the gas fees hit like low 40s, and I paid like $7. But that's because I was more patient, willing to wait it out. That's just part of the game, at least at this point in time. As blockchain technology progresses, hopefully a lot of that will be wiped away, but it's still something that we do have to live with. Yeah, a lot to get excited for September and October for sure. Don't scare the kids away. I don't want to scare anybody away with the idea of Halloween being postponed. I just want to be realistic. If the like, oh my God, we explode moment is possible, then the oh my God, we need to wait while things get patched is possible too. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Both possibilities can exist at the same time and should exist at the same time. Like, you should consider both potential outcomes. It would be nice if we can get a bridge to engine to another blockchain and then swap JEng. So that's what Engine is being built out for. The idea of Engine was to be the bridge between Ethereum and Polkadot, and obviously the goal of Polkadot is to be the bridge, or it's to be the layer zero of all chains, so that all chains can connect to it, and it will be like the switchboard between all of these different blockchains. So it would make what you're trying to accomplish a lot easier. The purpose of the E-finity token changes on a daily basis. The reason why I say that is because E-finity on Engine, they have their own white paper, and as E-finity progresses, they have been updating that white paper. So things have been changing. In general, the idea of E-finity and the EFI token is it's going to be the governance token. I believe it's still going to be the governance token. I need to go reread that. But I think it's still the governance token for E-finity, which is going to be the platform on Polkadot, while JumpNet is going to be, and Nginx is going to be the platform on Ethereum. Remember, there's a bridge between the two. Other than governance, it's also going to be the currency for the Polkadot system. So, like right now, when you go on Nginx to buy Lost Relics items, you're paying an engine. When you do that in the future, you're going to be paying with EFI. At a very basic level, that's that. I would take the 20-30 minutes. If you do expect to stay, if you're a long-term believer in Lost Relics and are wanting to follow the journey of the game, I do think it's worth it to go spend the 30 to 45 minutes of reading the E-finity white paper. I would also caution that you have to remember that the E-finity white paper is Engine's desired purpose for what they want to accomplish. That doesn't mean that's what's going to play out. in order to know that, I think you also need to go, this is where you put even more time in, like I have. You'd also have to go in and learn a lot about Polkadot. These are significant time investments, I'm not going to lie. Like, I've easily spent 100 hours alone just learning about Polkadot in preparation for what could happen to Lost Relics or what may not happen with Lost Relics. And Engine, of course. Obviously, at this point in time, I'm more of a supporter of Lost Relics than I am of Engine overall, but Lost Relics wouldn't be at this point without Engine, so it's a chicken and the egg kind of thing, right? I guess we would have to see what the future holds, but yeah. Why didn't they just use the bridged engine? Seems like they just wanted to create another token. My guess, I don't know. My guess is that the benefit of creating another token from a development standpoint is that provides a new fundraising mechanism. So by creating a new token, they were able to do a new seed investment round and private investment round and public sale. And by doing that, theoretically, those public sales and private sales should generated them, multi-million dollars. I don't know the number off the top of my head. I don't know why 40 million is ringing a bell. That could be completely off. Don't take my word for that. But theoretically, I guess the idea is that by doing those private rounds, they secure funding to help build out the system, to use the resources to build out the system. And by also getting private investors involved, you now have people that are interested in the success of E-finity. So, like, I don't know this. This is me completely speculating. But, like, I think off the top of my head, some of those investors that were in the private round were some of the token exchanges, I believe. And so I wouldn't be surprised if I went and I looked that some of the people that are the first to list EFI token are also some of the organizations that were some of the early investors. So you could see how it benefits both parties. So yeah, okay. Devilish says Engine has now raised 38.9 million to support E-finity on the Polkadot-based blockchain, and you snipped it from Google. Okay, cool. Yeah, so what did I say? I said 40? Yeah, that was Polkadot. Yeah, definitely. Did I say something off there? Theoretically. I mean, you could look at it both ways, right? Like, you can also look at it as wait a minute, you already have Engine, and Engine already has all of these successes underneath its belt. Why is that not enough? I mean, or, I don't know. The thing is that, like, in order to, like, really evaluate the cryptocurrency, like, you need to be able to evaluate the management of the company that is most benefited by the token appreciation, right? And there's not enough information. Like, I don't know, like, if it was me and I was investing in Engine as if it was a stock, I would want to know, which I could probably find this out. I would want to know who's upper management, how many employees are involved in the system. I would want some financial information about how resources are allocated so that I can hold management accountable. So, like, if the management of Engine is spending this 40 million a certain way, I would want to know over the course of time, how have you spent it, and are you meeting your objectives by spending it? This is the way that I would evaluate a stock, and I don't think it should be any different for evaluating a cryptocurrency. Now, by being a cryptocurrency, you don't have to have all the same types of rules and regulations that public companies under stocks do. So there's a lot less information to go around. So it is more risky. And by the very nature of it being more risky also creates more rewards. So, it's, it's just one of those things, guys. One of those things. Do I think that Engine can moon? I mean, I'm on record a few months ago of saying that that I think that Engine could hit $5 to $7 this bull run. Like, I think that's realistic. I don't know if it will hold those prices. I think it's possible just with the nature of the cryptocurrency industry increasing. Again, that says nothing with what Engine is able to accomplish. I just believe that as the crypto markets increase, it will diversify into all those other projects. I think Engine has some advantages by being like one of the most widely adopted crypto gaming places, crypto gaming coins. But I don't know, man. That 5 to 7, like I'm not making investments like as if it's gonna hit 5 or 7. I'm just saying that it has a possibility. I think there's a chance. Maybe that chance is 5%, 10%, 20%. I don't know. It's hard. Yeah. So I did talk about this on another stream too. When E-finity was originally launched, I did make sure to secure myself a good position of Polkadot as well. Just in case, like I believe in Polkadot in general, regardless of Engine's utility within the ecosystem, should it ever happen. So it was an added benefit to me, I think, that if I already believe in Polkadot and I'm already invested in Polkadot, then there's added value to be like, hey, I believe in Polkadot. I also believe in Lost Relics, which is on Engine. If this is a big if Engine and Lost Relics convert into Polkadot's new system, then I would want to be there to support it along the way. I do think. Look, I'm not gonna lie. Look, here's one of the things that I've been planning, and I don't know if I'm gonna execute it or not because there's no information. I just want to have an opportunity if the opportunity presents itself, but I might not even qualify. But like one of my thoughts has always been, look, if Lost Relics and Engine goes onto Polkadot, I want to support the game and support the project, progress, make the change. When I'm reading the white paper of what E-finity is supposed to look like, theoretically, it's going to be a world where their Engine has a parachain on Polkadot. That parachain has validators and coallators to perform services on the chain that help secure and process transactions. In order to be a validator, I think you're going to need like way too much tokens that to where I'll be able to compete. Like those are like mega, whales that will have that ability. I'm not going to be able to compete for that game at all. But they're going to be like 10 correlators for E-finity. Now, in order to be a correlator, you need to stake both. You need to stake Engine, and you need to be running hardware and software that, according to the E-finity white paper, will take somewhere like $1,000 in monthly expenses to be able to run. But so it's going to cost $1,000 just to run the services of being a collator. You also get paid if you are elected. You have to be, the community has to vote and choose you to be one of those operators. If the community were to, if I was able to put up if I had the amount to stake and I had the equipment to run like out of my own pocket $1,000 a month to run those services, and the community was able to vote for me or for Strike Team Games to be one of the people that secures the network, then I think, at the end of the day, what I think it's important that if Lost Relics really does explode, I think it's important that the Lost Relics community be one of the organizations that secures the network, right? Like, it just helps secure the future. We're building, like this economy is building, being built out by the players, by developers, by operators, by node operators. Everybody that's contributing is helping to its future success. So, there's a lot of ifs that I threw out there, but who knows? Maybe I have enough to qualify. Maybe the community would be willing to vote for me to be one of those people. I just would like to have the opportunity. So that's one of the things I've been playing it out in my mind. There's been no details on like how that work would actually function. So I figure it's a goal in the back of my mind that I can shoot for. And if I'm not even close, then, so what? I'll move on to the next opportunity. But in the end of the day, when I think about like securing the network and supporting Lost Relics, I do think it's important that the Lost Relics community helps support the network that we're all a part of, one way or another. So who knows? But yeah, so that's been an idea that's run in the back of my head. Gas fees are holding back Engine. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think so. I definitely think gas is an issue. It's been an issue, and a lot of NFT and crypto based games have not been have died, have not been able to continue because gas fees killed the project. One of my thoughts and thesis about crypto investing is whenever an issue occurs to a project that should theoretically kill the project and doesn't, in other words, the project survives, that's the moment to invest. And the reason why is because since cryptocurrency is like tested on a daily basis, like there's consistently people trying to hack the system, trying to break the system, trying to take value out of the system for themselves. Because it's consistently being tested, every single time it passes a hurdle, its chances of survival increases. To what degree, I don't know. But it's kind of like if I was betting, I mean, I don't know how to put it. Like, I'm trying to think of a sports analogy. But like, as I see, I can't think of a good analogy, but as I see the ability for these chains or projects to continue not only through the good times but through the bad times, gives me more reason to believe for their overall success. You know? Can I hover over the bow? Yeah, here you go. It's the Void Ripper. What's the button that shows the additional information? No, that's for the details, if you want to read the details. But then what's the other one? That one. That'll give you the, so it's shift and hover. So that'll give you the damage per hit, damage per second for both regular hits and power hits. What am I missing here on the chat? I feel like Solana can take the spot from Engine. I don't know why or how. I don't know how or why it went up from 5 to 120. Yeah, Solana's the other one. Like, Solana is definitely an area I need to research more. I had to make a decision in terms of like, see, that's the problem. There's so much to learn. I had to make a decision on what to learn first between those two. I chose Polkadot because of E-finity to be the first thing I learned. The day before yesterday, I started learning a little bit about Solana, but very, very little. So validators, well, let me see if I can pull up the E-finity white paper really quick so I could read it to you as they describe it. E-finity white paper, boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna put this in the. Let me put this in the chat really quick, guys. Let me put this in the chat. Give me a sec. Okay, so you guys can read it. For you on Twitch, there you go. For you guys on YouTube, anybody that's watching on Facebook, I promise I'll get the hang of it. Wait a minute. What the heck? Let me see. How are the audio levels, guys? Everything okay? There you go. Anybody on Facebook? How do I don't need... I'm such a noob. Where's Lost Relics? Lost Relics on Facebook. Lost Relics. Oh no, it's under watch. I have to go watch and then search Lost Relics. Lost Relics. Okay, here I am. Facebook. Oops, I don't even know how. My bad. Write a comment. I'll put it on here too. So anybody that watches that VOD in the future will help. Oh, cool! It appeared here. Sweet. Yeah, it's a lengthy read. But I think it's definitely worth your time. Let me find it again. Where is it? Okay, introducing. Oh yeah, so actually if you click the link and scroll down the page, it's like the very first image that appears. You have the relay chain of Polkadot, which is important for securing the overall network. Hey, Spartan dude, thank you for the follow, my friend. Oh, you know what? Can someone, if anybody's there that's not following, do me a favor, hit the follow button. I want to reposition. Or you know what? I could just test it. My bad. Test it. Let me reposition it here. That's better. Very nice. Okay, so thank you, Deadlift Diva. Thank you for the follow on Twitch. And if you get a chance to jump in on YouTube when y'all are free, hit that sub over there. Thank you guys. Okay, Cringe number 7. Welcome to the strike team, guys. Spartan dude, gotta love it. Here it comes. Keep them rolling. You know what? Actually, I can probably share I'll try to share this really quick. It doesn't really work when I'm doing it midstream though. No capture. Add source. Add. There it is. Boom. Okay, yeah. So here it is. So you have the polka dot relay chain. Wait, I'm in a dungeon, right? I'll be fine. Okay, I'll be fine. You have the relay chain. This is what is securing the network. This is the security. The validator layer, the correlator layer, and then the actual parachain. So this is where all the transactions are going to happen, like on the marketplace and everything. Those transactions are going to be relayed up the ladder. They're going to hit the correlators first, then the validators, and then they're going to go the relay chain. That's how it is going to work. So let me move this down now. And now you can see the game again. Sweet. And now, move this, reposition this. Oh man, what did I do? Did I just mess up my stream? Question jumping in on the chat. Do you think Cliff will add main bosses? I think he left out the main boss from the last update. So my guess is that he was probably working on it on the last update and it wasn't ready for release. So maybe with that added work and the time since the last update has passed, I think maybe there's a good chance that could be the case. I think we're gonna have to see. We're at 2 hours and 40 minutes on the stream. I'm probably gonna have to wrap it up here shortly, guys. We got 38 people jumping in across YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Again, thank you guys for spending your time here. Hope you're having a good one. So feel free to shoot on over a little lightning round of questions. I mean, I am in a dungeon, so it's going to be... I might not give you lightning round responses, but let's see if we can get some questions in, if anybody has any before we wrap this up here. 64 Wraithmancers. I probably should have started with the minor. I probably should have started with the smaller quests first, but this was the only rock, the only item, the only bounty that I had that was production in nature. So I like to get those out of the way first, since production takes not too long worth of time, and it helps me get my production skills go up. You should make some more YouTube videos about crypto. I've thought about it. I can definitely do that. I can definitely make some more YouTube videos about crypto. So again, one of the other ideas that I was thinking about was going down that road. I don't know. I had assumed that a majority of the people that were watching are more interested. I mean, personally, well, I would assume that a majority of the people that are watching are more interested in learning about crypto gaming. But I personally think that if you're going to be a crypto guild or a player investor, that you need to have the basics of cryptocurrency down, tokenomics, and understanding like where things are going. The same way, like where I know a lot of us never used to be like this, but like when you were playing games years ago before crypto was invented, what we were doing is we were doing the whole like the console wars, right? We were talking about like the PC master race, like whether it's Nintendo or Xbox or PC or whatever platform, like we would get into those heavy discussions, right? I think the new discussions are going to be like the different chains, the different games, the different these different models, and like, so for example, like when I And instead of just playing the games, now because people are going to be investing in these economies, now it's kind of like back in the day, if we were having those console wars at the same time while we were also buying stock in those gaming companies. Like, I think that would have dramatically changed the conversations of the console wars. And I think whatever that would have been is what might play out now with crypto gaming. I don't know. I have not gotten the sword from the bounty bucks. I have not. Originally, when I started the bounty quest, that was my main goal. But life has forced me to slow down in terms of my number of hours playing and my ability to farm out every single bounty quest. But I'm always moving. I'm inching closer and closer and closer. So I think right now I'm at like. Man, I can't even recall the number. 350,000 bounty bucks. Maybe after this run, we'll go take a quick look just to see where we're at. I had always assumed that I was gonna if there were more than 10, that I would have finished in like 15th place. Maybe there's a chance. Now that some players have dropped off because of they like to play during the events, or maybe they found another game or whatnot. Maybe there's a chance that I've passed those guys over the past couple of weeks, just slowly grinding it out. But I think I'm going to be okay. I don't think bounty bucks are going anywhere. And I think maybe after the sword, Cliff might replace that with another item. So I think we're going to be okay. I think it's, again, going back to the mentality of marathon versus sprint. Oh, you think he spoiled the map boss? That's interesting. You think that out of all the leaks, that map with all of the coffins in it, or the graveyard or whatever it was, that's the one that I have no clue. I was like, are we just getting a new map? Is this some type of new death mechanic? Like, if you die, you have to go to this thing to recover your tool? I don't know, making something up. Very true. When it is early on and you need to have your wits about you in terms of the different blockchains. Yeah, you do. I think originally one of the goals of the gaming metaverse was this idea of you have $1,000 in Splinterlands and you want to go play Axie for the weekend to go do an event. You would sell your Splinterland stuff and buy Axie stuff, right? Move your funds and stuff. But the more things play out, the less I think that that's a likelihood. I actually think that might be more risky than worth it, because with how illiquid NFTs are, there's a very good chance that you could go out of one project and into another and lose a majority of your wealth in doing it. So maybe that's going to become a thing, but I don't think we're there yet. That is not one of the things that I'm looking at. The way I tend to, when I start to think about what Strike Team Games could do as a guild, I start to see the idea of a guild planting flags in different metaverses. I've gone through the YGG white paper to see their philosophy on how they build it out. The one thing that I will give, I disagree with them on some things, but everybody's going to have their own personal opinions. Obviously, one of their strongest aspects is the team that they've built behind them and the expertise and the amount of years that they have behind them. So that's huge. That's obviously something should Strike Team Games go the guild route, that would be probably one of the very first things that needs to happen. The building out of a team to progress. And I think in the beginning, that could start in a more of community fashion, where just starting with the members of the guild working together to accomplish some of these goals. But as a guild could progress, I think it's going to be very important to have specialized individuals, whether that is I'm a CPA, maybe a lawyer, a technical officer that is significantly involved with blockchain, implementing blockchain technology, the more things grow, the more knowledge and specialized you need to be in your certain fields. I mean, I'm just spitballing ideas. I'm just, you know how it is, guys. Isn't that the cemetery? So the cemetery over here, I think the picture, this is the cemetery, right? The graveyard. This doesn't look like the picture, right? There used to be, this used to be, I think it used to be. Man, it's been so long. I think this used to be an adventure. You used to come in here and go into an adventure, and I believe, why, maybe I'm making this up. I don't know why I have the feeling that you used to be able to go into there and the dungeon would be dark. Yeah, it was fully blacked out. Yes. What was the name of the adventure? Was that before or after Shattering Chambers? For those that have been playing around. Yeah, Howling's right. Yeah, you guys, who the hell knows? Yeah. I think Shattering Chambers was the hardest one, and this one was the one before it. Like, you'd have to take the torch in to light your way. Yeah, exactly. Oh, he posted what's this? Let's see. I'm trusting you here, bro. I'm trusting you here. Nope. Can't remember the name, but it was the Dark Adventure. Yep. Yeah, I remember the Dark Adventure. I never got to complete it, if you can believe that. Well, not believe that, but I mean, I'm sure you could definitely believe that. But no, I never got to complete it. You don't think you ever got to complete it either? I got to go into Shattering Chambers twice, I think. I went in once, like, not even whatever, and just got completely destroyed. I got just got wrecked. And then I went in a second time, and I think I might have made it, maybe I made it halfway? Didn't he say he'd bring back the blacked out? That's what I thought, but like now that I go back and look about how this is... Whoa, wait. This is red, isn't it? You guys are saying this, right? Is there a way to not make it fade out like that? It's just faded out because I'm not that high enough level. Wait, but now it changed. Look, now it's... Yeah, just a bug. It's just a visual bug. Maybe he's getting rid of the lantern. I don't know. Why did I come back to the stash? It was the ingot, and it was later removed. Gotcha. Did I come back to the stash for a reason? Were we going to talk about something? I completely forgot. Almost hitting 3 hours here, guys. Almost hitting 3 hours, so we're probably going to wrap it up. Oh, Bounty Bucks. There you go. Thank you for the reminder. I think I'm like at 350 would be my guess. Let's see where we're at. We are at 346. 346, and there are 4 remaining. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna get there, guys. But who knows? Maybe if some players, I mean, it's possible that players ran out of blockchain items to turn in. It's also possible that some people just stepped away from the game that had a chance. I don't know, but we're gonna keep it going. So, like I said, if like I think Howling Mad, you were saying earlier, bro. I think your logic about if Shadowstones are gonna be dropped, then things need to circulate, and the bounty system's the perfect way, one of the perfect ways to circulate them. So it would only mean that the bounty system would continue. but I don't know. Okay, one more run, guys. One more run, and then we're going to call it here. I need to get some food. We never went back to that YouTube video, but if you guys were interested in it, hit me up either on Discord or Twitter, or Telegram, and I can share with you the link. I don't even know if I put it in the chat already, but yeah, to make circulating items more sustainable. Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay, then yeah, then that kind of proves the point, right? That you meant that there needs to be more. Like, it's not just going to be a one-off event. But maybe they're not so. Maybe the sword is like the creme de la creme. You know what I mean? Since it's the very first one. So the old map needed a lantern. Yeah, one of the old adventures needed a light source, and I also think that's why you could craft. Torches, right? So my guess is that torches, obviously, they run out over time, and the lantern, you could take it to multiple adventures. I really wish that I had kept video or made. I mean, I can go look at like whatever my oldest videos are on Lost Relics. But I really wish that I had kept more videos from the very beginning, because I think in the very beginning I was only on Twitch, and you know how over time they go away. So I think I might have lost those videos, unfortunately. But I would have loved to, like, maybe there's some other players that have some old videos. Torches to the moon. Maybe there were some old players that have old videos, and we might be able to get some of that together, just to do a. I really do think it's important over the course of time to, like, just document how things have changed. It's important. I think it'll be important for new players that come on board, because what's going to happen, this cycle is going to continue to happen. Doesn't matter if it's Cliff or with a team or whatever. Like, new update comes out, people want more, it takes time to build out more, and new players come in and they say stuff like it's over, like the game's done, and so like you could have something to show people to say, like, well, look, this is how things normally progress. These are how these cycles normally go. You saw one of the old videos that someone posted? Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? To like see like we used to have only 4 inventory slots, like 4 slots, crazy. Maybe there used to be, back in the day, Cliff had a, he had a, what's it called? He had a beginner's dungeon, where people, because back in the day you had to pay per dungeon run. You had to pay you had to buy what was called an adventure stone, and then you burned an adventure stone, you can go into a dungeon, right? So I actually like that more arcadey model. I really did. I still do. But back in that day, he used to have it to where if you didn't want to buy adventure stones, you could run you could run the like beginner's dungeon for free. And then once in a blue moon, maybe after a day of grinding, you'd find one adventure stone would drop. And that adventure stone would give the player a taste of like of going into one of those dungeons. I liked that idea. Maybe the way that adventure stones could drop, maybe there's a way with, like, assuming the economy grows, maybe there's a way for pendants to drop, even if they're very rare, just a one-day pendant, for new players to get a taste of like going into a dungeon. I think that would be kind of cool. I don't know how the economics of it would work out. Haven't really thought that far ahead, but I don't know. Guess we'll have to see. Man, time is flying. It's already 6 o'clock. The fiance must be watching the stream right now and being like, hey, hello, I'm alive too. Actually, she has like a whole bunch of homework today, like a ridiculous amount of homework today. So I'm gonna have to go help her review things. If she has any questions, maybe I can help her out on that end. She's an accountant as well. So the funny thing is that like she'll go over material that I haven't seen like in years, stuff that I don't like do on a daily basis because it's not part of my everyday work. So I'll try to help her through it, but most of the times I'm reading the textbook and being like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. You know, the other thing that's kind of crazy, guys, like as a CPA, I have to do continuing education. So like I'm required to do X amount of hours every single year to continue to keep my license. And because of that, whenever I get the opportunity, like I tend to do, cryptocurrency based education that counts for these credits. And there's not a lot of it, unfortunately, in the crypto industry. There's very few accountants that are specializing in crypto. So there's very little educational content. Like it's crazy how like I'm listening to these videos and I'm like, wow, like videos that are like had just been released that like I listen to and I'm like, this is like 4-year-old information. Like this needs to grow so much faster, you know? I don't know. But I guess that's part of it, right? With everything changing so much, like any type of new information you give can be outdated within a week. And can actually, I mean, I guess it could also cause damage, right? Because like if you make a tutorial video on doing something and a week later, month later, or whatever, it actually is not an efficient way, and actually it might like hurt your watchers. I don't know. That's just something I think about. But we had a good stream, guys. We had a very good stream here. It's like when the internet came out, yeah, and we had the internet bubble. Everything grew so fast. Like if you're charting how fast crypto's growing, we're actually growing at a rate of like 116% faster in terms of blockchain adoption than than internet adoption back in the day. So like, yeah. Talk about growth. Yeah, extremely fast, extremely fast. Like some projections were already showing that like by 2025, we're right now going into 2025, that we'll already have 1 billion plus users that are on crypto. Like a billion of the world's population will be one way or another involved in crypto. You know, by 2025, by 2030, like that could be half the world's population. You know, you could, maybe those predictions are wrong or not, but if things continue the way they're going, I think that they're more likely to be correct than not. It's crazy to think that. You know, one of the other big things, like I've been listening and doing a lot of research about like the metaverse. It's one of the reasons why I asked, the first question I asked Cliff during the interview was about like what the metaverse meant to him, or what it could be to him. Because like everyone has their different ideas of what it's going to be. But I've been listening to a lot of podcasts and a lot of like CEOs giving presentations, like the CEO of NVIDIA, the CEO of Amazon, Netflix, listening to all these major public companies coming out and talking about what the future of the metaverse is. And there's this big discussion right now. I think it's safe to acknowledge that like Apple and the iOS system has like a major grip on the development of software and and the internet because of how many people are connected to that network, and they have control. And I think a lot of these networks are trying to they're trying to beat Facebook to the creation of the metaverse so that they could create their new walled garden or whatever. But like, so like it's a race. It's a big race to define what the metaverse is going to be and who's going to be in control of it and whatnot. Like if you're talking about the Ready Player One world, like if you read the novel, like in Ready Player One, the company, the company that invented the Oasis, was the most dominant country in the whole world. Like, that could be a Google, that could be an Amazon, that could be a Facebook, that could be an Apple. Someone's going to win it. I think the very decentralized nature of crypto is trying to prevent that from happening, trying to keep it as decentralized as possible. But I do think we're going to be in a world where there will be both a decentralized version and a centralized version of the metaverses. I think there will be multiple metaverses. I think that's like one of the more likely outcomes. I mean, that opinion can change as new information comes out, but yeah, I mean, like for example, like Facebook right now, probably I think, in my opinion, is in the lead because they purchased Oculus and they're building out this VR world. Like right now, the things I've been listening to are like the ideas of like VR, AR, and XR, and what those will mean for the metaverse. XR being extended reality. That's a whole other topic we can go into. But one of them, I mean, if Facebook is able to make a metaverse that already brings on all the users in Facebook, which are X amount of billion users, it has VR to create the platform, the fundamentals, the basic building blocks for this world, a virtual reality based world, and they come out with the Libra token, which is going to be like the currency of the system. That sounds like everything you need to create a metaverse. I don't know. Scary. Could be definitely scary. Oh, you just watched it? You just watched it with Cliff? Yeah, I would love to have more conversations with Cliff. I think Cliff does a very good job. He does a few months ago, I think it was, he would randomly drop in different Twitch streamer and YouTube streamers chats to talk about Lost Relics. I don't think it's a coincidence that he's posting the leaks, and then he did the interview, and then he says a Medium post is coming out. Like, he's rolling this whole new patch out slowly, I think. So I think we all got an... Oh, shoot. What the heck? Oh, I have plenty of health. Why am I frozen? Okay. Oh, shit. Okay, that's much better. I hope it's not... You hope it's not Facebook? The information will be leaked? Yep. It's scary giving... We already give so much information and so much power to these technical giants. I think crypto has the ability to fight back against it, but I don't know, man. Yeah, it's definitely faster because we can use the internet now. Definitely faster. But it's just crazy because, like, when you're trying to make a comparison to back then and now, like, your odds of making an accurate prediction it's more likely that you're going to underestimate how quickly it can grow than overestimate how quickly it can grow. Which is scary. It's scary. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. We will have to see, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Whew, I'm getting gassed. This is definitely the last run. I might have said that in the last one, but I think we were on a good topic, so I just jumped in for one more. But I am gassed. I need food. I need a break. I need time. I'm old, guys. I'm old. I just turned 35 a few days ago. So I don't have it. I don't have it the way the young gamers do. My strengths are in other areas. Oh man. But I think we had a good stream. I had a lot of fun. Always like hanging out with you guys. I do my best to get on as often as I can, but you know how life goes. Did I get a level today? I try to get a level every day. Maybe I'm gonna probably go back this evening. I've been marathoning a bunch of different TV shows. Ooh, this TV show that me and my girl love is coming out. Is today? What's today's date? Yesterday. I think it came out yesterday. It's called Casa de Papel on. Well, we watched it on Netflix, but I don't know where it's coming out. And I think the new season just came out, so I'm getting ready. But we can't watch it tonight because of her homework. Damn. Okay, well, we'll wait. I've been watching Grace and Frankie. That's another one I've been watching. I freaking love the comedy in that one's a good one. So like when I'm watching, I'm doing production skills in the background. At least recently I have been. So I'll try to get that cooking up. Later today. Get that level 20. I probably should just be focusing only on production to get ready for this new patch. Because I'm already over 40. I mean, there's a chance that maybe he introduces a level 50 gathering item. I mean, that's possible. But I think it's just more likely than not, since players haven't been able to gain access right now as often as they want. I think it's more likely that we stay at things the way they currently are, but that could be wrong. Pizza high five. Sup guys, I've been thinking about getting back into LR. I know it's been a while, bro. You look, I think you should get back into the swing of it. Just play a little bit, because if this next patch ends up being as big as what it could be, you're gonna want to have a leg up on the rest of the competition. I say competition, but you just want to be a step ahead of the players if you can. Might give you more opportunities. If you're howling mad, you probably want to skip the next patch and just not play for a while. I'm just kidding. That's just me teasing to see if I can get him out of lurking, but I don't know. All about the marathon. Exactly, all about the marathon. Maybe we'll go take a quick look at the Lost Relics leaderboards, and that's how we'll wrap it up. See where we're at. I'm wanting to get back to my coveted level 19, but I think I need to be level 19. Ranked overall 17th in terms of combat skill. 17's a special number for me because that's where I got ranked up in Halo. Halo 2 when I was playing MLGs. My highest rank got up to 17 in the world. At least through MLG I was 17th, which I gave the priority. Won plenty of more competitions, but they were smaller competitions throughout the US. Fun times, fun times. So if I get back to 17th, I'll be happy. Yeah, I used to play on back in the beginning of Halo 2, like the beginning of 2006 when I was doing it. I played on Team IE Pro was my first team, and then we moved over to Next In Line Gaming. So after that, I've jumped around a whole bunch of teams. Started playing for myself, doing a lot of free-for-all tournaments and individual 2v2 tournaments with... so since I'm in Texas, at least in Texas, if you're not from the United States, like in Texas is like one of the largest states, and like it's common if you live in Texas to drive like all over the state. Like it's just a common practice. So like driving 5 to 6 hours is like is routine for whenever you go on trips. So like I would drive to different tournaments all over the state, and then fly obviously to all the other major ones, whether it's like Orlando or Chicago or Anaheim. I'd take the 9-hour drive to go to Dallas. But for the most part, a lot of the Texas tournaments, like I knew a bunch of the other pros that lived here in Texas too. So like I would leave my place, spend 4 hours to go pick up one player, spend another 2 hours driving to go pick up another player, and then meet the fourth one at the event. And, that's how we would play for 4v4s or 2v2s. So those road trips, man, are amazing. Best road trip of them all, though. I think we were traveling. I decided rather than flying, to drive to Charlotte, North Carolina for MLG. It was MLG North Carolina 2007, I think. Yeah, definitely going to play Halo Infinite. But I mean, it really just depends, right? With this whole play to earn thing. It may suck up a majority of my time, but I am going to definitely play some Halo Infinite. I'm excited about that. I've been listening to some of the Halo novels during my downtime just because I freaking love Halo. I know it's lost a lot of its allure amongst the player base, but it's changed my life, so I'm never gonna let it go. But craziest road trip of them all to end it up. I drove from here to Charlotte, North Carolina, picking up teammates along the way. And I got to San Antonio, which is like a 4-hour drive for me. And I picked up Wonka, which is an old ex-Halo pro. And we switched cars. We decided we took a minivan, right? So we could pick up everybody to go. North Carolina was a 24-hour drive. We drove there straight 24 hours, obviously making changes, right? So as we're exiting Texas, we are like in bumper to bumper traffic, like going like 70 miles an hour down the highway. And the car in front of us swerves, runs off the road and swerves and runs back on the road. And the reason why they swerved was because there was a dead deer on the road and we had no time to react. I wasn't driving. I was in the passenger seat. We had no time to react. So we ran over the deer. But in the moments before we hit the deer, it was obviously dead. You know how like once the body starts to like decompose, like it explodes, right? So underneath the hood of the car, there was just mass carnage. The smell that we had to live with for 24 hours of a drive was absolutely horrendous. And on top of that, when we entered the city, we got pulled over for speeding. We were going like 5 miles over. First off, the cop is like, what the hell is all of this on your bumper? Second, what the hell is that smell? And then third, he's like, what are you guys doing? And here we are, a bunch of nerd kids being like, we're going to a video game tournament, sir. I don't know how the hell we got out and not getting a ticket. I mean, we were only 5 miles over the speed limit, whatever. But like, we literally didn't get over. We got out of the ticket. We went, we competed, we had a blast. But like that's the story. Like when we go back and I talk with some of those old friends, that's the story that like, guys, you remember that time? It was horrible. Oh, and when we were on the way, like one of my friends back in the day, his smartphone was a Palm Trio. I don't know how old of you guys are to remember like a Palm Trio. Like we were going just using a map, like literally using a map to go to make it over there. And I remember I was in the back seat. I was sleeping. We were all sleeping except for the driver. And I remember I woke up, groggy as hell. And I woke up and I remember thinking like, man, we've been on the road for a while. And I remember that during the talk we had said, just whatever you do, don't forget to take the major exit. Like there's this one major exit that we had to hit. I remember waking up super groggy. It was around, I don't know, afternoon, early evening. And then I remember saying like, hey guys, when's that exit coming up? And no one was paying attention, right? So my one friend with his Palm Trio was just like, of course he was showing it off at the time. He pulls up, he's like trying to pull up the map, right? So we're all there just like watching it load and load and load and load. And then the map comes up and it shows where we are. And then all of us are like looking at the map, like looking over his shoulder for like a good like 45 seconds trying to understand what we're reading. And then finally one of us was just like, I think we're close. And then we look up and like the exit is literally passing us, and then he just screams at the top of the lung, "That's the exit!" And then the driver just 100 mile, like literally, like all of us go flying to the other side of the minivan, and somehow we barely miss. We're a bunch of kids, we're idiots. Somehow we barely missed the like divider. We got to the exit and we make it through, and we get there all nice, safe and sound. But like, that trip's going down in history. Sorry guys for letting me indulge on that, but like, just good times, man. Good times from like gaming and just competitions and just I don't even know. Super good times. But yeah, I think that's it, guys. I think this is where we're gonna wrap it up. We had a good run. Nothing else to do here. I'll probably finish these Wraithmancers tomorrow, something along those lines, get some production skills up. Thank you guys so much for jumping on the stream today. Again, if you're on Twitch, do me a huge favor. Jump over on YouTube real quick. Hit that sub button. If you haven't gotten a chance yet to watch the interview with Cliff, let me go ahead and post that really quick. Because it's a good one. I think there's some good little knowledge, good little information here on what the future could hold. I didn't want to hit him, I didn't want to just like bombard him with a whole bunch of questions. I know you guys love that and want to get as much deets out as possible, but I also I didn't want to add to any extra pressure, but I made sure to ask a few good questions. I'm going to post it here on YouTube. And on Twitch, there's the link for you guys. I'll go ahead and post it on YouTube as well. And I really need to get Nightbot set up. I don't think anyone's watching on YouTube, but it's all good. Or on YouTube. I don't think anybody's watching on Facebook. But we had a blast so far. My Twitter handle. Also, let me go ahead and post my Twitter handle. I've been trying to post as much, or I try to share when I see new information about either crypto gaming or the Metaverse or blockchain technology. I tend to post it there, so you can follow me on Twitter here. And I'm more than willing to share things as they progress, give you my personal opinion, so you guys can make more educated decisions. And we will go from there. Hey-o. Thank you for the sub, Sammy UK, jumping in and giving us that big sub on YouTube. Thank you so much, my friend. I think that wraps it up, guys. Can't think of anything else. Let me find a Lost Relics streamer that can take over the duties. Anybody got a streamer that's online right now that we can share? I don't even have the Lost Relics page jumped up. Hey.
Super quiet there.
Thank you. Who's back? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Strike Team, everybody. Frosty is streaming right now. We're going to go ahead and show Frosty a little bit of love. So we're going to go ahead and do the raid on Twitch. Go ahead and let him know Striker says hi. Again, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I will catch up with you guys next time. Peace out. Let's get that raid going. You'll get the notification here in a second. Again, thank you. Let him know Striker says hi. Catch you guys on the flip side.